Very good afternoon. Welcome to Pspj monthly meeting February 2021. Warm welcome to Mr. Kin Fong and Chris Lee. Our agenda for today is tutorial by birding by very good afternoon. Mr. Kin Fong of Channel Welcome Malaysia. To Pspj monthly meeting 10 p.m. Guest speaker Mr. Nasri Sulaiman. Warm welcome to Mr. Kin Fong. We have our very passionate Mr. Chris Lee about travel photography. Our agenda for today is tutorial by birding by 5 p.m. We will have a briefing for February outing. In fact, no outing, but for the monthly photo contest and any other emergent matters. We hope to end the meeting by 5:30. So, Mr. Kin Fong, can you introduce yourself and then you start your tutorial?
Sure. Hi, everybody.
So, Mr. Kin Fong,
I hope everybody is having a good afternoon. I'm excited to be here sharing all my experience. I've been shooting birds for quite a few years now, and for the past 2 or 3 years, I really got into it because I started to see a lot of beautiful birds in Malaysia. Before that, I was shooting casually. Let me just share my screen. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Are you seeing? All right. All right. Hopefully everybody is doing okay. Let's start. We have here, are you ready for birding? Malaysia has a lot of birds to offer. So I think it's a hobby that everybody can get into it. And I think a lot of people feel that it's not an easy thing to do. So I'm gonna show you that it's quite easy, and with the right gear, you can work wonders. Now, let's see. So a quick introduction, you can find me if you are interested in birding. You can find me on my Instagram account. It's Kinel Fong. And almost a year ago, I did a sort of a short video, a 1-hour video on FB Live that actually tells you a lot about what Malaysia has to offer in terms of birding. So have a look at that if you have time. The link is here, fb.watch/3tcz, everything. So you can copy that and screenshot this. You can refer to this later on. And also, I've recently put up some articles on my blog, birdingwithkin@blogspot.com. And you will see some gear introduction, my experience with different cameras that Canon has offered. And I got to try them out. So you can see the results you can get from all of those. Okay, so Malaysia has about 835 species of birds. And there are always some variants that come when they are flying across from different parts of the world. So Malaysia is actually at the path of the immigration. So birds would be flying from all the way from Siberia, for instance, and they would go all the way to Australia, and they would fly back and forth throughout the year. So besides the resident bird that Malaysia has, during the year end and the beginning of the year, we also get some migrant birds. So that is also an exciting thing to look out to. And you can hear more about this in the video that I spoke about earlier. So what have I learned from the years of birding? Well, with a lot of photographies, getting the subject eye in focus is the main thing because you want to engage with the subject. And I've also learned that the evolution of technology has made birding a lot easier for the photographers nowadays. Let's say we have eye detection nowadays, so getting the eye focus is much easier. And because Malaysia, a lot of the birds that we shoot are found in forests, so the lights are not always that great. So even with the old technology, we have to shoot a lot and focus, recompose to make sure that we get the eye sharp. So with technologies nowadays, we can do that easily because the AI actually does a lot of the work for us. So with traditional DSLR cameras that we are used to using, we have to do a lot of focus recompose. So you'll be moving the camera back and forth. And during that process, sometimes the focus will still be off. But now, with the technology, you can compose properly, and then you don't have to worry about getting the eye in focus in most of the cases. And then with my personal experience, because my eyes, they are getting old, so even in the viewfinder, things are focused or not focused, I had problem judging. So with this new technology, I have less to worry about. And then the keeper rate of my shot are a lot higher. And then the other thing that I've learned was image stabilization is very important. For me, the equipment that I'm used to using is a 400 millimeter lens that doesn't have IS. So that gave me good image quality, but sometimes when I do handheld without a tripod, it becomes a problem because I'm not sure if I'll be getting the stabilized shot or not. Sometimes because we do have to shoot in low light condition, the shutter speed has to go down quite low. Having IS actually helps quite a bit. I think for me, those two were the main reason of switching on to better technologies. The other thing that I found was when we are shooting the birds, we are not sure if the exposure is right. So with the traditional DSLR, I have to guess. When I take a shot, I'm not sure if it's correctly exposed or not. So after I shoot, I have to look at the back of my screen, check the exposure correct, then I continue shooting, and I have to do back and forth. And with the new mirrorless technology, I can judge much better because I can see all the exposure, how the picture is going to turn out within the electrical viewfinder. So here is a comparison of the technology that I'm used to using and then the new technology that I've been trying out. So we look at the DSLR side. The optical viewfinder, a lot of people prefer that because it's the real world that you're looking at and you're not looking at a transmission that may have the delay. And also people complain about the blackout and all that. So that is true, I think, maybe a year or two back. But with the new mirrorless system, a lot of those problems is non-existent anymore, I find. And I think having that viewfinder, the electronic one, where you can see the exposure correctly, and then you can also place your histogram within that viewfinder, it's better for you to judge that you're getting a correctly exposed picture. And then I spoke about the eye detect, which is great. In most conditions, it works very well. The R5 and the R6 that I've tried out, they were super amazing, I must say. Especially the first time when I was trying the R6, you can see how the focus box is always locked onto the eyes of the birds. So it makes my job easier. I can just focus on following the bird and composing my shot better. And then the other thing was the old DSLR, the limited AF coverage. Most of the time we see the focusing point are gathered in the center of our sensor. And now the coverage is pretty much the whole frame. So no matter where the bird is, it will pick out the eye and then, or it will pick out the body or the head quite easily. And then some other problems that we had before was the old technology. When you have your lens that is not fast enough at a smaller aperture, it's not gathering enough light into the sensor. So the camera would have problem focusing on the subject. So I believe it's used to be f8, but now with the new technology, even at f22, the camera will still focus for you. All right, and then I mentioned the image stabilization is so important. The old DSLR doesn't have it, and now the camera have it on the body itself. And when it's paired with an image stabilized lens, the effect is much greater. And then the battery. Battery for me, when I was switching over or trying out the mirrorless camera, that is always my biggest problem with them, because after a few hundred shots, then I have to switch battery again. And with the DSLR, I was getting about 1,000 shots, even maybe more, yeah. But I think now I feel that because of the result that I'm getting, it's okay to carry, an extra battery. And especially nowadays, the battery life has been improved for the mirrorless system. So it's not much of an issue. So just to give you a quick comparison, I think this is something that is important to me as a birder. For the R6 and the R5, it's the 20 megapixel and 45 megapixel. I will show you some images later on so you can sort of see what kind of image quality and what kind of detail you're getting from two of these camera, yeah? And then both of them has a dual card slot. The R6 has a 2SD, which is the format that we're used to using. And then the R5 has the CF Express, which is a much faster read card where you can do longer bursts. And then because the 45 megapixel actually takes a lot of processing power, the CF Express can keep up with you. So during this trial also, I find that the CF Express is great. I don't have to worry about the burst. I can burst for a long time. So I'd be taking 20 frames per second for up to a few seconds, and the camera wouldn't have problem. It wouldn't, start buffering. And I also tried it with using an SD card. After a while, it will start to slow down. So if you are shooting a lot of quick action where you need to burst for a long time, then getting the CF Express is a more sensible way to approach this. And then in terms of the ISO sensibility, I will also show you some images that are shot at high ISO. And even that, the images are quite clean. So comparing the two, I think both are good, but the R6 is slightly better. So if you really are going to shoot in dark situations a lot, then maybe that would be a better camera for you. And then the video capability, I personally haven't really done any video with them, but knowing that I have a 4K or 8K resolution that I can work with, then I would try to do more of that in the future. So I was testing them for not that long of a time. If you read my blog, which I shared the link earlier, you will see some of my experience with those. And if you have any question on the blog, you can always text me, comment there, or you can reach me at my IG to get further information, yeah? So I'd like to share some of the images that was taken during my experience with these products. And let's hop into Lightroom so you can see the actual shots and what the details are like. So we're in Lightroom, and first off, these were the images from the R6. And if you notice, the ISO for this image is 25,000, yeah? So it's considered to be very high. And the image is still quite clean. Let me zoom this in to 100% for you. So this is actually an edited image from the JPEG, because at the time I didn't have the capability of processing the raw file yet. But here is what the raw file looks like. And at 100%, you see a bit of noise here. But I think that's acceptable at that high of ISO sensitivity. And then this is the JPEG that I got from it. All right. And then moving along to the next picture. This one, it was shot in quite a dark situation where a shaft of light is shining in. So this was shot with the tele lens, the RF800. So this was a lens that when they announced, I didn't think it was true, because I don't think Canon would make a lens that is f11 for birding, because a lot of birders would prefer getting a fast lens, f2.8, f4, or at least f5.6, yeah, to shoot in conditions like this. But even at f11, we can see that, you know, the camera is coping quite well, and in f11, the background is still quite a good separation from the subject. We still get that blurry background, because the telephoto and a wide angle lens, they are very different in terms of physics and how light is hitting the sensor. So even at f11, we are capable of getting a blur background, yeah. So another comparison, this is what the JPEG looks like. Fairly clean. And then if you know a little bit of retouching, you can get pretty good result out of the image that you're getting from the raw, yeah. And then another picture just to show you, you know, f11, you are capable of getting a blur background. Here we go. And then the JPEG that we get. And then I think the next shot shows you a little bit more about the dynamic range. So this is a subject shot against a bright background, yeah, backlit sometimes you would say. So this one is shot at ISO 5000. And let's go into the develop module, just to let you have a look at the histogram. So everything is quite bright, so we think everything is blown up, but if we pull the highlight back, we can still see there are actually details in the background. So the dynamic range of the picture is actually quite good, even at high ISO, yeah. So with some processing, it's possible to get details back out from the background. But this particular shot, I was going for a clean look, so I just blow out the background for this particular one. And then just to touch upon the eye detection bit a little bit, here is a nightjar, a very highly camouflaged bird. So if you walk past it, you might just miss it because it blends in with the background so well, right? But when I was testing the R6, the eye detect was able to capture or zoom in onto the eye, even though if it's half closed, it was able to do that. So that was really impressive to me. And then later on, I also put on a 2x tele converter onto the 800 lens. So now we're shooting at f/22, and this particular bird was in a shaded area, so it was a little dark. If you look at the original shot, it was actually a bit dark, but again, the eye detection worked quite well in picking out the eye and getting it in focus. So I have to say, during my first test of the R6, even though I didn't spend enough time with it, the result and the capability was quite surprising, and it was just great result for me. I was smiling all the way lah. And then another image to show even at f/22. This is the original shot. It is possible to get a blurred background. So I think if you are interested in birding and you're getting into it, this is a sort of a budget lens that you can try out. And I was saying in the blog also, if this camera is set up properly, even somebody that doesn't have a lot of experience shooting bird, you can already go out and try to get, images similar to these. And if you are accustomed to all the settings of the camera and you know how to tweak them to your preference, then you can do a lot more. So the R6 was good. I think for me, personally, what I like is to see a bigger image. So the R5 offers almost double, well, it's double and more resolution than the 20 megapixel. So it's 45 megapixel here. I like to show you the kind of details you can get from here. So this is shot also at fairly high ISO, 6,400. And the details here are just amazing. I'm going to pause a little bit because I think during the live feed, maybe you won't be able to see as much detail. Yeah. So let it pause a bit and you'll see the feather details here just blew me away. And then if you're used to shooting just JPEG and you're not used to processing raw files, then here is the straight out the camera JPEG. So these are the kinds of details that you can get from a 45 megapixel camera. Then here's another shot. This one is processed. Then the original shot was like that. So this is shot at 6,400. So I'm looking at this picture at about A4 size on my screen. And the image is quite clean. So 6,400, the noise are barely visible. And this is the straight out of camera JPEG. Let me just zoom in a little bit. So at 100%. So this is good enough for very big prints here. And then similar situation, and we see the ISO goes up to quite high now. It's 12,800, and I think still quite clean if you compare this shot and this shot at about A4 size here. It's quite clean. So when I was trying out the R5, I also got the RF 100 to 500 lens to try out. And these are shot with that. I want to share with you a image that is backlit. So on a backlit image and slightly overexposed image, we can see that it's quite clean because the edges, we don't see any color fringing or color aberration. And this is the JPEG from it. And if you were to process it, you can bring the contrast back because in this particular situation, the light is hitting the sensor quite a bit. So with a bit of adjustment, we can bring a lot of the details back. And then let's see, another shot in similar situation. This one I have not processed it. So considered to be very clean image, even in a backlit situation, yeah. And this is the JPEG. Okay. Now, the next thing I wanted to share is the dynamic range, which I was quite impressed with. And also here I was shooting at 20 frames per second. So if you check on the EXIF data here, this particular woodpecker was nesting at a very shaded and almost never touched by the sun type of thing. So if you can look at my hovering here, this is where the nest is. That is always in shadow. And then because the way this bird is shooting out, right, it's like a bullet. So it's really hard to get it in focus. In this particular shot, I have to push the camera to really high shutter speed. So I tried at 5,000. And because it's dark, I went up to 12,800 for ISO. And because I wanted to make sure that most of the bird is sharp, I went with a slightly higher f-stop as well. So when I was pre-focusing and all that, the reading was based on the dark shadow. But what I didn't calculate was when it came out, the light, the sun is going to be out. And that particular time, it was blowing out the bird itself. But here it demonstrates how well the camera copes with the dynamic range. Yeah, so if we were to pull the detail back from the highlight, we are able to recover a lot of the details in there. Just to show you, this is the JPEG that I got. And after some processing, this is the type of image I can get from the sensor. Okay. So during the test, I think most of the time I was shooting one bird only. At the time, it was very limited of where we can go. And this particular bird was there at the park all the time. So it was a good chance for me to go out, try different things with the camera setup to get this particular bird. And a lot of times shooting birds is finding the right condition and finding the right lighting to capture that perfect shot. So sometimes you just work with what you get that day. If the light is happening to be good, then you would get brighter shots like this. But if it's in the morning and that particular period it was raining most of the time and it's overcast and dark, then the images would turn out a bit darker, and you have to push the ISO or the speed, you have to lower it down. So there's no one time the condition is the same. And I think having the right gear would help you cope with the different kinds of condition. And when you need to push it really high on the ISO, you can. And if you really need to slow down the shutter speed, you can too. So having good IS, if you're not shooting with a tripod, then that's helpful. And then in dark condition, you always have to lower down your shutter speed. So it's helpful to get an IS if you're not using your tripod, yeah. So just to show you a few more images here, JPEG, mostly I just want to share with you the kind of results that you can get and what is possible. So here, this was actually in the dark also because, like I mentioned earlier, the nest is always shaded. So the backlit is from, the background. Even at that situation, the eye detection also works quite well, yeah. It's not 100%. Sometimes it will lose it because the bird is not staying still all the time. It will be moving around. So you will see this is just part of the tree trunk. It's actually a pretty big tree trunk. It will move to the left and then over and up to the trunk itself where it's better lit. But the birds are very smart in how they build their nest. They want their nest to be, shielded, and then I guess it helps with the baby and their resting and all that. So a lot of time when we find a nest, it's usually not the greatest thing to shoot for photographers. So here it's in the open, we can get slightly better shot, but I could have exposed better here, but in the excitement of the bird coming out and chasing it, sometimes forget about the setting. So it helps that you're used to one camera and, try out different settings and then get used to how to shoot with it. And then adjusting your camera settings all the time. I think for birders like me, if I've been shooting for a few years, I find myself to be evolving the way I'm shooting. So first off, I was shooting with aperture priority. So I was picking my aperture and let the camera do the exposure. And then back then, I find that sometimes it's too long of a shutter speed, then I get blurry images. Then later on, I adjusted to shooting with manual mode with auto ISO. So with that, I set my aperture, I set my shutter speed, and then let the camera decides on the ISO how high it would shoot up and how low it would go down. So that worked for me for a little bit. And with that setting, you have to do exposure compensation. You have to force the camera to underexpose or overexpose. And then later on, I find that, okay, might as well I take full control. So I'm going to full manual and I set everything, the ISO, the shutter speed, and also the aperture. And with that, another problem arises, because when we're shooting, the condition changes and the exposure, the final image that you get within your frame can go darker or lower. And if you're not checking all the time, that could become a problem. So now with the new mirrorless system, what I like was what I see within my electronical viewfinder is what I get. And I can better control the situation. If I wanted to overexpose or underexpose, I have that ability. And with these two cameras, what I like was all of the settings are just in the custom buttons that I assigned to. So I can, change all the settings with my right hand. So with 3 buttons, I can move things around and get the exposure right. So for people who are looking into going full manual and get in control of your image, this camera certainly offers that. And I mean, for me, the more I advance, I think taking control of the camera is very important. So I can control the final result. When I go into editing, I can do a lot more with my images. Let's see. So the colors, I've always liked the colors that come out from the camera. Bright and sharp. Just another example. So during the test, I was also using very high ISO, and I realized after looking at the images later on, I could have dialed the ISO down a bit and maybe go lower on the shutter speed. And I can also take the f-stop down to get even better control of the noise. So if you see here, there are some noise, but if I had changed my setting a little bit, then the noise would be lowered. And also with new software technology, we are able to take a lot of the noise out, as you can see here. So I think if you're interested in birding, go out there, get something you find your subject to shoot. You don't have to have the longest lens. I started off with a 300, and it's just going out there to see the world, see what's around you, and that exploration, that is the most exciting. When I started off, I was shooting the bigger birds, the egrets and the herons, and those are some birds that you can see on the roadside sometimes if you travel in, Para, or even on the highway. Sometimes you can see a big eagle. So once you start, taking picture of them, you start to see, oh, there are other smaller birds around. And it's like a game of Pokemon. If you like to play Pokemon game, where you go out to hunt for different species, then this one is the real world Pokemon game. So every weekend, I would go out to different places to find different birds. And it's helpful to join different communities to get news and meet up with birders, so you get information of, oh, what is the hottest bird right now. So right now, there are like an eagle that is quite popular. A lot of people are shooting. And then recently in, I believe, Malacca, there's also a migrant bird that has arrived in Malaysia for the very first time. So it's like a treasure hunt as well. And if you happen to be in that area, you can always go there. But now MCO has restricted us from traveling. So I resort to looking at pictures that I've shot and editing them, giving them new life, so to speak, because some of the picture I've put it aside and haven't seen them in a long time. So it's a good time to go do that. Okay, so that's all I have to share today. Do check out my Instagram. That's the best place if you have any question to ask me, because I'm on that platform most of the time. And do have a look at the FB Live video that I had about a year ago. And if you're interested in the gears, you can go into my blog to have a look at that. Let me see if there are any questions. So this has been brought to you by Canon. And let's see. And thank you for Canon to invite me to do this sharing session. Let me just have a look at Facebook to see if there's any comment from you guys.
Yeah, Mr. Kin.
Yep.
One member has a few questions.
Right.
Is Michael Pascal.
I
read out to you.
Okay, Ken.
The Canon RAW files on the R5 are huge. Besides the free Canon software, what software do you recommend to download RAW files? Here's from Mr. Michael Pascal.
Hi, Michael. Thanks for the question. I personally have not tried other ones since I've been using Lightroom all the time. I think it's a very good software. There are some other ones. Let me have a quick search here, because somebody mentioned to me a different software. Let me see if I can pull that up. It's Pixel something. Sorry, I can't find it now.
I think King can share the software link later.
Yep. You can PM me on my IG. I can share that with you. I'll look it up for you.
King, another question from Michael. Can you please comment on your views on electronic versus mechanical shutter, as both options are on the R5?
Well, I've only used it for the 20 frames per second because I wanted to get that bird in flight shot. So I've only turned it on for that. I don't see a big difference. And what I understand, the differences would be for people who are shooting in artificial light, because the artificial light would give you some kind of bending. So for us shooting in natural light pretty much all the time, and I don't use flash for my birding shots, so I don't see any problem.
So Michael, I hope Mr. Kin has answered your questions.
But having that 20 frames per second is really helpful when you are trying to get something moving very fast. Like that particular shot I showed you earlier with the woodpecker and others. I was shooting with the mechanical shutter and I could only get 2 frames, and then the bird is already out of the frame. So bearing in mind, I've also positioned myself quite close because I wanted to get a closer bird in flight shot where you can go wider with a 200 lens maybe, then you would get the bird flying in the frame more. But I chose to go tighter, so the opportunity of getting the bird in the frame is less. So when I was using the mechanical shutter, there was about 2 frames, and then I got 4 frames from the electronical shutter.
So Albert, any questions from any other people? Albert, you have to unmute. Albert? Yeah.
Yes.
Uh,
So far, only questions from Michael. He has one comment here. It's not a question. He's expecting to see photos of birds in flight. Because the woodpecker was in Kera Park, so he also went there and shot, is it?
Right. Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get to do that. The time I had with the equipment were quite limited, and because of that time period also, there wasn't much to go by lah. So another thing about birding is not every time you go out you will get what you want. And for me, my focus has not been in capturing bird in flight. For me, it's capturing colorful birds. That's what I like to do. So the bird in flight shot that I got was just, by the way, because everybody is trying it, so I just try out. And since I have the new camera, I see how well it does. And for me, that was actually the sort of the first time I was trying out in that kind of condition. I would imagine, in an open space, the bird traveling, it wouldn't be that hard to capture. Even with my older gear, I was able to do that. And again, I don't actively go out to shoot a bird in flight. So sorry for not being able to share more pictures with you.
okay, if there's no more question, then King probably reached the end of the sharing.
All right.
Okay. Before King's leaving this chatting, we Pspj like to thank King from Canada, Malaysia, represent Canada, Malaysia to do the great sharing about birdings and all those tips and the skill for the shooting, photography, and about the birding. So, Albert, do you have anything to say?
Tam asked, well, not really asked lah. He hoped there is a Canon outing in future.
Yeah, we are hoping to get that going. Because of the COVID situation, we couldn't. So I'd like to share more of what I know with everybody actually. So, I mean, for the last sharing, it's also online. It's really helpful to get people in the room and then, hold the camera and then see the bird, try things out. Yeah, so we look forward to doing that.
So hopefully after the MCO.
Yes. There has been talks, so yeah.
Yeah, great. I think a lot of people run to try the R5, R6 now.
Yes, I think if you're in the market, and especially professionals, a lot of them have already, gotten the system. And if you're not sure about it, when we do the workshop, it's actually the best chance for you to try it out. For me personally, when I was trying, the first time was the R6. And that really changed my mind about mirrorless, because even that I was trying the M6, I think. The battery life on that was really, you don't get a lot of shots out of it. So when I had that camera, I didn't shoot a whole lot with it because I was shooting with another camera. So I was just switching back and forth. And mirrorless wasn't something that I was really into until the R6. That really, changed my mind about the whole thing. And after that, I was like, okay, I need higher megapixel because I like to get the detail shot. And in our birding community, there's a term say you need to count bulu. So you need to get all the detail, and the R5 definitely give me that. And R6, if you can get close enough, you will still get those detail shots. So it all depends on condition. And yeah, what's exciting is when you go out there, you don't know what to expect. And when you get good result, that's the thing that keeps bringing you back into, going out there again. So actually, a personal experience was I feel the technology is so good now, you might not have to work so hard to get your image. And maybe people will get lazy. But for me, in the earlier days, because I was failing and failing, I wanted to go back there to perfect my shot. So the drive was there to go back to try out different settings and fine tune my technique. But nowadays with the new technology, you can do less of it. So I think overall it's a good thing. It makes our job easier. But yeah, you need to drive yourself out there to get more images of different birds. So yeah, if you're in KL, I think we used to have a lot more places to go shoot, and now a little less, and because of the MCO, so it's so hard to go anywhere. Last year, the trips were really shortened, and the year before that, I was going out a lot more and seeing a lot more different species. So yeah, I mean, go out there. Nature is always wonderful to discover different things. So if you're not shooting bird, you can be going out there to shoot macro, let's say, different bees, beetles, all this wonderful macro world. And also, go out to shoot landscape with the high megapixel count, then you get a lot more detail. Because the dynamic range also, the cameras nowadays are very good. So very good result. If you want to print something big to hang on the wall, not a problem. So we live in a very exciting time now in terms of technology. It allows us to do a lot more. And of course, it's better than the phone where the phone gets you a small image and it's good on your phone screen, but if you want to put it on your, let's say your 4K TV nowadays, it might not hold up as well, but with the bigger megapixel you get from a camera, it's always nicer to showcase your work that way. Yep.
All right. Okay. I think that's all for Mr. King today. He's very experienced in the birding and the Canon gear.
Always learning, always learning.
Okay.
And thank you for having me. It's been wonderful to share my experience. I hope everybody enjoyed and have a great afternoon with the following sessions. There's more to come, I believe. And I'm excited to see what's going to be presented in upcoming ones. See you guys.
Hopefully in the future, we can invite Mr. King to share at the physical meeting.
Yeah, it will be my pleasure to see all of you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Mr. King.
That will be it. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you,
Bye.
Mr. King. Nice to have you with us.
Okay. Bye.
All right.
Our next item on the agenda is our Mr. Guest Speaker, Nasri Sulaiman. He's a Sony ambassador and award-winning photographer.
Albert, sorry to interrupt. Because Mr. Nasri haven't logged in yet.
Oh.
So we proceed to the sharing of our members, Mr. Chris Lee. the travelographer.
Okay.
So welcome, Mr. Chris Lee. Okay, can you hear us? You have to unmute your mic.
Chris, you have to unmute your mic, Chris.
Yeah, unmute already. Yeah.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. Chris Lee here. Nice to see you all. And hope that everybody stays strong as well and stay safe in this pandemic. So let me share my screen first, right?
Yes, please begin.
Okay. You see the screen?
Not yet. It might take a little time.
Okay. Do you see my screen?
Yes, I see your screen now.
Okay. Let me do the settings. Give me a second. Okay. So can you see my slide clearly? Hello.
Yes.
Everything okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Now can I proceed?
Yes, please.
Okay. Just a bit intro. I'm Chris Lee here. Actually, I'm just hobbyist. Not earning anything from photography, but spending money. Like Albert spending a lot of money. I spend a lot of money too. Right. Now I was I'm still a member of Pspj since 2008. I realized that I went 13 years with Pspj. I will continue to be Pspj until my last day. Right. Now, photography is part of my life, and at the same time, as I said, that I like travel. And when I do traveling, I realize actually I'm fortunate to able to visit the world and in front facing a lot of beautiful scenery. I like landscape photography and at the same time street photography. But due to this MCO or pandemic, during the early last year, I realized that while going through my hard disk, I realized I have so many thousands of photographs, and I believe that when I'm gone, my hard disk will be gone as well. So all these images, travel photo, will be also gone with me. So I decided to put it into a YouTube video, and I started 4 months ago. And members, you are welcome because I'm going to share all my travel photographs, and I started 4 months ago. I'm doing it every week, and this is the fifth month I'm doing it now, and I have more than 20 videos now in my YouTube channel. You can see the link on the website. I hope that you will support me, you subscribe and like my channel. And today I'm going to share with you a very unique place. It also is having the most hit by most viewer. I want to share with you is an expedition to the Wild Wild West of China, Kashgar. Now, let's give you some indicatively the location of where Kashgar is located. Now, I'm visiting Kashgar. Actually, is in the province, Xinjiang province of China, and is the color in red. And Xinjiang province is actually the largest province in China, which occupies about 1/6 of the landmass in China. So traveling between east to west of Xinjiang can take you many, many days. And even our journey today took us about nearly 24 hours. So I will let you have more understanding of Xinjiang. So later on, you will join me. Maybe you would like to go to Xinjiang again because Xinjiang have divided into northern Xinjiang and southern Xinjiang. But the topography and the scenery between the north and the south are not the same. Same apply to the culture. So let's look at more on the map. Now, on this map, you realize that actually the northern and southern Xinjiang are basically geographically divided by a mountain range called Tianshan Mountain Range. And at the southern portion, it actually is the desert. You see the word Tarim Basin, and in Tarim Basin, there is actually house a desert. Right? So actually, we are moving on to Kashgar. And you look at this map here. Now, most people could I visit Urumqi? But from Urumqi to go to Cascade, actually is about 1,462 km away. If you by road from Urumqi to Cascade, it may take you about 18 hours because in China, particularly in Xinjiang, there's a lot of security checkpoint along the way. At the same time, the travel routes, the speed the vehicle can travel is between 40 to 60 km per hour. And of course, ideally, from Urumqi to Cascade is by plane. Even by plane, it take you 4.5 hours on plane. All right. So this is about Cascade. Now, Cascade is actually the westernmost city in China. And as far as concerned, either Urumqi or Cascade, the nearest seas close to them is more than 2,000 miles away. So this is a very unique place of Cascade, and a lot of photographers have been trying to visit Cascade for several reasons. And today I'm going to share with you some of the photographs to tell you why a lot of photographers like to go to Cascade. Now, Cascade, or sometimes they call them Kasi, as you can see the arrow pointing there, is actually on sail roads, ancient sail roads. And this city is have more than 2,000 years of history. Right? You can see that it's from this point, the Cascade, it go to the west and going to the south. To the west, you go to the Central Asia, you go to Europe, and for the south, you're going to Pakistan and India. So therefore, Cascade is a very important trading down during the ancient sail road era. Now, Cascade is actually a place whereby have 500,000 of population of Uyghur ethnic group. And this is actually a very unique place until today. There's not much urbanizations. And if you go to Cascade, you still manage to come across a lot of traditional ancient buildings that built more than 100 years ago. Of course, lately, Cascade has been undergone very major redevelopment by the China governments, and even Cascade OCD district itself, half of the district, half of the area have been redeveloped, reconstructed. So if you want to see more of a traditional Cascade OCD, please go fast to visit this part of the world. Now, when we go to this Cascade, actually, we realize that you have the most important thing, first of all, is to visit the city, old city district. And I want to share with you some of the images I've taken. But most of these images that are taken is already in the redeveloped city district. Now, you can see the image now on the screen is actually ancient city Cascade. This is called actually the Eastern Gate. Actually, Cascade Old City are surrounded by pyramidal wall. Right? But most of the wall have been torn down due to aging. And because I said earlier, this Cascade city already more than 2,000 years old. Now, when we went there, we realized actually in the morning, there are two sessions of performance, cultural performance. And one is actually about 9 a.m. Local time. And the other one is actually about 12 noon. And therefore, we will definitely agree by many visitors, many performers, and you can see they do all form of traditional costume, and they sharing their culture to the visitor around. So these are images that I managed to get when I visit during the first cultural performance at the eastern gates of this Cascade Old City. Now, when we went into this Cascade Old City, you realize actually the scenery that you see, the scene that you look at it, is not the old Cascade City anymore. It's actually a redeveloped Cascade City, Old City district, and have all the road been widened and all the buildings are reconstructed. But of course, you still can find some very old building in the alley area. These are some of the architectures of the Uyghur traditions, architectures that you can find. The Chinese government, when they rebuilt this old city, they still retain most of the architecture style of this city. I tend to take architectures images particularly to the window and door, because I believe that window and door is the way it tells more story about the age and the history of a place. So you can see these are the windows can found along this old district. And this door, even from the door itself, you can see the age and also the religion, the fallback, right? And this is one of the scene I tend to like the wooden doors, and at the same time the bicycle the park right in front of this shop. And this is some of the pictures taken on those stores. Now, when you visit this Casca city center, you definitely will see there's a lot of souvenir shop. They're selling all sort of the local handicraft. And at the same time, if you pay attention to it itself, actually it tells you a lot of the history, and a lot of beautiful story you can get from all these images. For example, the images on the left is very copperware are very popular also in this part of the city center. There on the right, basically I like is actually the image at the back, the tigers pictures from the backdrop of this image. And you also can take a lot of street photography. You can, if you like street photography, you find that there's another good place. You can find a lot of vegans, people, they dress up in their old traditional costume, and they can even perform some local, the traditional music instruments, like the picture show on the right-hand side. And you can also realize that some of performers, they still continue doing the performing along the streets when you walk around. And my recommendation, if you go to this city center, please allow yourself a whole day, because actually the old city district are very, very wide and very big. And we can't cover up. In fact, we are only cover about 2 or 3 streets between the city center only. But if you can explore more time, I can see more images, the beautiful encounter of the locals, traditions, and the people. Right, so this is about some images. Then the next important place that I visited is Ika Mosque. Now, this Ika Mosque actually is the largest mosque in China, but not in terms of the size of the building, but in terms of the area, the floor area. Now, this Ika Mosque is during when they fully occupied, when they fill up the whole mosque internally, it can take up to 10,000 worshippers. But at the same time, outside Ika Mosque itself is a square. And at the square itself, if we also will fill up during a festival season, then it can take up to 20,000 worshippers. So this is also one of the important mosques that you must not miss when you visit the Casca. So you can see just now the image here, the most attractive part of the whole mosque is this entrance gate and the mirror that on both sides. Don't underestimate this mirror. Actually, it's been quite some time already. The only thing, they constantly restore the external facade, because due to weathering and the tile that they stick onto it fall off, and then they do all this repair. And to enter all mosques or most of the tourist spot in Casca in Xinjiang, you have to undergo security screening. That means there's a scanner to scan you. So as a photographer, you tend to take a bit more time, because every time you go over, you have to scan your bag, and you have to maybe have to show your camera to them, and then they allow you to go in. So these are the images I've taken again, these mirrors of this Ika Mosque. These are all the close shot of the architectures, decorations. Then we, beside walking, visit the mosque itself, we also shop around with a shopping street next to the mosque, which run parallel. And when we walk into this street itself, we also was impressed by the architectures that display the building facade along the street. They really spend a lot of time in decorating the street, and you can see that well landscape. And during our visit, because just after the National Day, China National Day, because we visit this place because of the intention is to visit some of the those popular tree park whereby actually we catch the season of autumn. So it's straight after the National Day of the China. So you can see a lot of China flag was actually hanging out along the strait. And surprisingly, the strait is very, very clean. You know, and of course, happened during our visit. We didn't see much people along in the strait. And then when we came back to this place in an evening, because we were told that there's a night light show, they have this laser light show every day at night. So we managed to also capture some of the night scene of this city center at the Old Strait Center. So you can see that actually during the night, the entire city center buildings facade are all been lighted up. It's very beautiful. If you like night photography and street photography, actually this is also a place where you can get a lot of wonderful images. And this happened to be one of the telecommunication towers. It's not three, it's one. But actually, since they changed the color of the light, I took 3 shots. And all these images are taken handheld because I didn't bring tripod. So it took quite a fair bit of try and error, managed to get quite a sharp image on this light tower. And we also visit another very important place. It's called Alpha Khoja Mausoleum. This is considered one of the most holiest places in Kashgar. And this mausoleum basically is host a very famous person called Alpha Khoja. This Alpha Khoja is a person that is a religious person, and it's very popular during the 16th, 17th century. All right, and this mausoleum now houses 5 generations of the family of this Alpha Khoja, which they bury in this mausoleum area. And I'm going to show you some of these bigger architectures in this mausoleum. It's a very beautiful mausoleum. You have quite a big landscape compound. You can see from the images I'm going to share with you from now on. In fact, when I visit there, we are fortunate that it's not very crowded, and we managed to have plenty of times taking photographs without being disturbed by a lot of visitors. So this is actually the mausoleum building, and the highest point of this mausoleum is actually the dome tower. You can see at the center point of it is about 17 meters high. You can see the town decoration on the external facade of this mausoleum is very, very impressive. Just take a closer look of the minaret. I like to take images besides giving an overview of the building. I tend to go for close-up, as close as possible, so that you can see a much clearer of the actual architecture's displays on the building facade. And this is actually the cemetery that houses the 5 generations of Alpha Khoja family. You can see very, very unique. The dome is very unique. Between this mausoleum, they also house 2 mosques. One is a bigger one and the one is a smaller one, but they all are located quite close to each other. But this is actually the largest mosque in the mausoleum. You can see that not only it built entirely of the brick as well as timber. Only 2 major building materials are used, brick and timber. And you look at it is the architect element, the carving, the intricate carving that's done on these columns, column capital, as well as the brickwork that's done on the minaret, as well as on the external wall. So this is something whereby it's an attraction of visiting this mosque. And in this part of the world, you always come across, they always name the mosque as Juma, Jummah, or even in Iran, because Juma actually literally means Friday prayer mosque, Friday mosque. Jumaat. In Malaysia, we call Jumaat. Actually, our Jumaat is getting from not our original Malay, actually it's getting from Arabs. So this is an entrance gate to the mosque. This is inside, and this is actually the corridor leading to the prayer hall. You can see the columns, colored, beautiful colored painting. So look at the column capitals. It's not all identical. They have actually few design. And not only the carving is different, but the painting itself is not just plain color painting. Actually, you can get closer, you can see there actually is a very detailed painting, very beautiful. You can look at the picture on the rightmost. And this is actually another section of this mosque. You can see the wall, the brick wall behind. You can see the aging and the rich in the Uyghur traditions and architecture style. A closer view, and look at the columns and the beam. You can see the paintings, very colorful. And you can see these two spout pipes. Actually, the pipe that's actually try to channel away the water from the roof eave so that the water will not backsplash or backflow and causing dam below the roof eave. And what engineering works have been done to preserve the timber structures. And because of this, all these timber roof structures able to withstand a long duration of time. And this is a place, also a very important attraction point for visitor, as well as for most photographers who come into Cascais, is to visit this livestock market. And why we call it Sunday livestock market? Because it's only held once in a week during Sunday. And it's an open air livestock market. And originally livestock market was in a Cascais city center because of hygienic reasons, so that they move it out 6 km away from the town center. And you can see that actually in the early morning itself, the Uyghur traders from all around the regions will bring over the livestock to be traded here. And at the same time, if you want to buy livestock, you also will be coming here. Now, this livestock market has very unique thing is that you actually have they not only selling also livestock that are available in Cascais, but the trading style is also very unique. They're using some hand signal. I will share with you more photographs and to share with you how they do the trading in this place. But you can find a lot of photographers. Actually, I also met Chan Maxi in Cascais during my visit there. He also bring a group of photographers to take picture, and he also visit this Cascais city just because of this Sunday livestock market. The animals of different species are never mixed together. For the bigger sized animal, they will tie into a more rigid, strong structure like rod, like steel rod, like in these images you can see. It's very crowded, and be careful when you walk around yourself. Please make sure you don't step on something on the floor. You know what I mean, right? So at the same time, when you go to this livestock market, please clear everything before you go, because when you start looking for a toilet, I won't tell you, it can be a very painful experience. So these are the bull. You can see the locals. You can see the cameraman. There's one photographer hanging a cameras on the left-hand side of this image. This is the sheep. For those animals that are smaller in size, they are then lined up and tied, right? in this manner. And so for some trader themselves, they even bring their own fences up to prevent this animal from running free. And I like these images. What a beautiful backside. The goods. And you also realize that in this part of the world, sometimes they distinguish the ownership of the animal by putting different color of paint on the body of the animals, like in this case. So the trader bring in the animal from all corners of Cascade City, some from afar, some from just nearby, and they use various forms of transportations vehicle. And you can see this is the trading done between the trader, buyer, and seller. And they actually don't really say out the price. They're using the hand signal, hand sign. You know, when do the trading, they do the bargaining, they're using hand sign. And then they're shouting, like shouting. I can't really understand what they're shouting off, but they're using a hand sign to show the price, whether they add or minus. Then finally, if a deal is done, then you find out he start taking out the money, and it's quite interesting. Even the local trader also like to view. Whenever the trading is taking place, you find out a lot of people are gathered. You know, it seems to be a comedy, something that enjoyable. You know, you can see there's been a trading carry on, and then see the rest of it bystander also gather around. And the trader, in order to have a fresh, better price, even do some trimming to keep the animal externally look nice and clean. You know, this is the only trader that I come across that he really spend time, right, to do some hair trimming of his sheep. This is a small-time trader who bring along one animals. Or more animals to bring in, they can use different type of vehicle. Some even using pickup truck. This is even a more sizable double decker. And around this open space or open air trading market, you can see also a lot of shop. And this shop selling all the accessory to do it for use in the herding purposes. And outside of this market, and one thing to mention to tell you that actually to enter to this open air livestock market is no entrance fee is charged. It's free to enter. Outside you can see there's a section they're selling the slaughtered animals. And remember just now I see that the sheep, I see the nice backside. The picture on the left is you can see the tunam. That this tunam is not the meat, it's actually the fat. And in fact, you can see most of the kebab, lamb kebab, you found in Cascade, they're using this species of lamb, right? And you can also find a lot of stores. All these stores are all the vendors come from the surrounding, and they're selling all the traditional handicraft or hair or anything that handmade by the villagers. You can even find some leather goods, fruits, and also one small corner area you can find that there's a food. They're selling to cater for the trader or even visitor, but I dare not try street food because my journey there, it is just the beginning, and I have still 8 or 10 days to go. So I always avoid, as a photographer, when I know that if we still have many days to go, I will not try any street food, right? And if I would try, it's always on the last day. It's just my personal opinion. And this is on the left side is very famous bluff. And then on the right is eggs, but I'm not sure why he cooked in this manner, but I also did not ask. Then I'm going to bring you to a very popular night market in Kashgar. And actually is where you can get a chance to experience all the authentic, local, vegan food. And this is daily. This street food night market is open daily, only at night only. All right. And this is the stall. You can see a lot of small tables lined up by the stall owner. And then if you like to try, you just sit down and pay. And it's very reasonably priced. To start off, most of the dishes, they start off with Chinese yen or renminbi. They started with 5 renminbi and they go on and that, right? So we consider very economical. And I like most is this dish, the roast lamb. Or you would like to prefer something that's adventurous, you can try this, the barbecue chicken wing, Thai, and so on. And you can see the naan. The naan is a very famous local bread, right? And you cannot be missed. In fact, most of the local rely on this as a main source of food. Of course, these have been cooked for a while, out from oven for a while. If you want to try, the best one to try is right from the ovens or tandoori. The tandoori, the crane, the oven that's built just strictly for baking this type of bread or naan. And the other important dishes that you come across in Xinjiang is all these lamb part on organs. Very, very popular also. And we also come across stores that selling eggs. I can say that there are all sort of eggs are selling, from a smaller eggs, pigeon, bird eggs, to oyster egg. And of course, they're all priced differently. And what they did is that when they cook, they actually you see the one the hole right at the center. Right, you can see this. This actually inside there is amber. They put a lot of charcoal, burning charcoal. Then when you want to order for it, then you put this egg into this amber here and then slow cook it. And then of course, like this, you can see the shell, the egg shell, they have been opened up. Then they put some ingredient, the sauce, to your taste or spice. Then they finish already, cook already, you bring it to you, give you a spoon, and then you just take it out and eat. So this is a very popular, this is another closer view. This is much closer view. Then this is actually the lamb intestine. The intestine is filled with rice, stuffed with rice. And of course, it's not just plain rice. You have other form of ingredient as well added in. And in front of that is actually fried chickens. And this is actually the pancake, the local pancake. And this again, just now, so the various lamb part, the organs, the lamb hips, not cheap. This is a closer view. If you like something spicy, you can try this. Right, this one is actually cooked in spicy sauce. And you have something look like our Malacca look. Of course, they didn't have the sauce that we have. And this is actually the bowl, cold bowl, and you can also warm it up. Noodles. And you can have dumpling, which is quite popular in China. We call it jiaozi. And this is actually one of I recommended dish is that the fried fish. And the fish is of a species, local species. You can see that the fish is on this end. This is a fish. This is kebab. Now form a kebab. And you have also come across this. It's very common in China. You can also find this in, I remember it's in Xi'an. But I did try. Actually, It's tasteless. The only thing that makes up the flavor is a spice that's sprinkled on top of it. And this looks like a huge curry pot. Inside the curry pot is a little bit only. Most of it is empty, but they just start with a little bit of meat or muttons. And you can find a lot of fresh food. This is a honey melons, very popular in Xinjiang. And you can also try fresh food. To Malaysian, this is very expensive here, but over there is one bottles is only 10 lemon pea, fresh. Just crush it, squeeze it out fresh and for you. And then you can find some dry nuts and fruits. This is very popular also in Xinjiang. If you go to the right season, you will find that actually you can get very good pricing. And this is some of the snack. Children will like this much, very much. And of course, those who like to buy precious stone, they have also selling a lot of precious stone here. It all depends how well you understand about stone. And of course, you also have some portraiture shots while visiting the street during the night market. And I like these images where this kid is trying to do some actions, and while the Smith was looking at this young kid. Okay, this is about my sharing of my travel to Xinjiang. As I said earlier, my travel to Xinjiang is only part of my journey, and so far I've already shared in my YouTube 4 nations: Bolivia, Russia, and China. For this China, as well as India. And just for your info itself, tonight at 9 p.m. in my YouTube channel, I'm sharing the last episode of my travel to Xinjiang, right? And then next week, I'll move on to a new nations, Iran. If you have not been visiting Iran, then please stay tuned for my YouTube channel. So this is end of my presentations, and open it to the floor for any question to ask. Albert, over to you.
Thanks, Chris. Just now, I saw one comment from Joseph Chong, but now it's missing. He said if you are going there again, he will follow you.
In fact, for your information, actually, I plan to revisit Xinjiang. But because I visit Xinjiang 3 times, it's a piece of advice. Don't try to go to Xinjiang by backpacking. My experience of 3 times to Xinjiang in interval of between 3 years. So I can see the changes, the tremendous changes in Xinjiang, particularly in Urumqi. I still remember when I visited Urumqi about 8 years ago. I literally can walk around in the street, and all corners. I still see a lot of traditional street, So when my last 2 recent visit itself, I find that actually a lot of shops have undergone major renovation. And at the same time, for security reason, that even the big square can be fenced up. All the entrances, they already set up scanning station. That means you enter to any of these parks itself, you definitely have to go through security checkpoint. So it becomes a bit inconvenient for photographer. But of course, I think for certain reason that this is the change that have taken place in Xinjiang, in Urumqi. And I hope that if you will travel itself, don't travel on your own, because like Casca, for example, you need a special permit. So if you go to Casca and you move around, you find that not every hotel cater for foreigner tourists, foreigner guests. In China, be very careful. China have 2 categories of hotel. A hotel that cater only for local, not for foreigner. And then there are hotels who cater for all. So therefore, if you don't plan your journey, you go there, you can end up with sleeping on the street, because if hotel is fully booked and some hotel don't cater for foreigner tourists, then you're in trouble. So my advice that if you go to Xinjiang, decide if you like landscape, you like greenery, scenery, you go to the north. But you want to go tradition, culture, right? You want to experience like the popular forest, the Tao tree, Wu Yangling, then you go to the south, because the south have the most Wu Yangling, the forest, and that this is my recommendation. And in fact, tonight, my YouTube channel was sharing with you 3 parks, Wu Yangling Forest Park, right? And from a very wild forest park to a very well landscape forest park. So please stay tuned for 9 p.m. And I will definitely go to Xinjiang one more time, but of course my itinerary will change, because those I've covered, I may not have to go to visit again, but I will add on some other places which I missed during my last 3 visits.
Chris,
Yep.
we have 2 questions here. One from Rippy, our advisor. Okay. Chris Lee, great sharing, wonderful images. What month did you travel? The skies were so blue. What was the temperature?
Okay. My visit was during the month of October. In fact, all my 3 visits to Xinjiang is all fall in the month of October. All right. So during the month of September to the month of October is considered the peak season. In fact, that is the best time to visit Xinjiang. And as far as temperature is concerned, the temperature differences in day and night is quite vast. Can be considered about 15 to 20 degrees Celsius difference. So therefore, in the daytime during noon, the hottest time is during about 2 p.m. Right, and it could be 20 degrees around that, right? But at night it can drop to maybe even close to 0. So therefore, when you go there, you always need to bring along warm clothing, because when the overcast day, during an overcast day, a crowded day, the temperature will drop. Even maybe this hour and next hour, the temperature can change. Right, so make sure you bring enough warm clothing, and also try to wear in layer, because as you start walking, you feel very hot. And if you have a very thin layer, 2 layer, let's say 2 layer, 1 inner layer and 1 very thick outer warm layer, then you may have problem. The moment you walk, you feel sweat and you feel very hot. The moment you undress the outer coat itself, actually you have no defense already. So please wear maybe 2 to 3 layer. I prefer 3 layer, 1 inner layer, 1 mid layer, and 1 outer layer. When you feel very warm at the time, you take out the outer layer, you still have 2 layer to keep yourself warm. This is called wearing in layer when travel to places where temperature vary during the day and night, or during sunny day and rainy day. The temperature, there's very big differences. You have to wear in this.
Chris, there's one question from our president Aditu, but I think you have answered this already. He asked, what is the best season to visit Xinjiang, China for photo shoot? Which month? I think you have answered that already. This is from our president Aditu.
Yes, should go at a time. Yeah, it's the best time.
Then YK Chow said, Chris Lee, thank you for sharing.
Welcome. I'm glad that I can share to all my Pspj members.
Chris is a senior Pspj member and very passionate about his travel.
Now,
and he likes to share.
Just to share with you my journey from KL to there. Now, actually, travel to Xinjiang is very, very far. The problem is there's no direct flight from Malaysia to Urumqi. If you want to go to Urumqi, you have to transit few major cities in China: Guangzhou, Shanghai, Beijing. Mainly these are 3 transit cities. But my journey is a bit unfortunate. When we are supposed to fly to Beijing, transit Beijing, then for certain reason, not enough passenger quota, they cancel the flight. Then I end up with, I had to join a flight, fly down to Changi Airport, Singapore, go south. Then from Changi Airport, fly all the way to Beijing. Then from Beijing, fly to Urumqi. From Urumqi, fly to Casca. So in other words, my journey involving 3 transit points. And the entire journey took us about nearly 20 hours. So it's considered quite a far place to go. So be prepared yourself. Another thing is about the time zone. Now in China, they're practicing single time zone, Beijing time. They always refer to Beijing time. But in Casca is the westmost city of China. From Casca to Beijing, the distance is few thousand miles. Just now you just heard me say, from Urumqi to Casca is about 1,400 kilometers, right? Imagine if from Casca to Beijing, how many 1,000 kilometers? It's very far. In fact, they are approximately 3 time zone different. But for them, they're practicing Beijing time. So when you go there, be very careful. If you look at the watch, it's 9 a.m. Beijing time. Actually, it's only 6 a.m. the local time. So most of the time, you can see that if the sunset, right, particularly during winter, the daytime is very short, right? The sun only come out maybe 8 or 9 a.m. only. And then by 6 p.m., the Beijing time, nightfall. So when you travel to northern hemisphere during the winter season or autumn's winter season, you will remember your daytime period probably is between 8 to 10. If we go to extreme December or January, it could be only about 9 hours only, right? Daytime, the rest of it is nighttime. So please take note of the time difference.
Chris, I think the speaker is here, so
Okay,
I
good.
think so maybe next time we can share again.
Yeah, I believe Chris has a lot of photos to share.
Yeah.
Maybe can share until next year.
No problem. Anyway, please support my travel channel. It's not for making money, just because I want to share my photo. And please do subscribe and share with your friend, because this is only for you to travel virtually around the world during a lockdown, free of charge. All right?
Yeah, thank you, Chris.
Okay, thank you.
To be with us today.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Chris.
Chris, can you stop your screen sharing?
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Hold on. Screen sharing. I can see. I didn't see the. I just log out first. I can't see where the screen share. Yes, sorry. Stop video. Did I log out?
Your screen is still there.
Okay. Albert, can you share your slide?
Yeah, okay.
So you browse to the Mr. Nasri page, the slide.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, next we have Mr. Nasri Sulaiman. He's a Sony Malaysia ambassador and award-winning photographer. Mr. Nasri, are you online?
Yes.
Hi,
Okay.
Mr. Nasri.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining the Pspj monthly meeting.
Thank you for inviting me also.
So it's our pleasure to have you with us today. So can you
roughly introduce yourself to the audience?
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. So my name is Nazri Sulaiman. I'm from Johor, but now I'm stay in Bangi, Selangor, right? So my photography journey start while I'm working at the camera factory last time, Konica Minolta, Sony, and then now I'm the full-time photographer. So now I'm the Sony ambassador. At first, I am only the Sony trainer for about 10 years. Sony Alpha Guru, we call it Sony Alpha Guru. But in 2018, so I'm luckily Sony, recognized me as a Sony ambassador. So instead of the normal job of as a photographer, I also always organize the trip for the photographers to some place like one of the place is Sempurna, right? Instead of Sempurna, we have Bromo. Last time we got the Chiang Mai, and some local place like the Royal Bloom, something like that. So this is my, about the award winning. Luckily, I won some of the international and also the national photography award. And the photos that make me little bit up is a photo of Syukur, the Buffalo Boy in Terengganu. So like when I won the photo of Syukur in a Siena International Photography Award and Asian Geographic Photography Award, make the photo viral and Syukur also viral. So that photo give me luck lah. So until now I'm very grateful. So this is my little bit of my portfolio lah. Thank you.
Thank you. So Nasti, you may share your screen now.
Okay. Okay. Can I start now?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you to Pspj for inviting me for this photo sharing session. I think this is the second time I joined this photo sharing session with Pspj. Last time I went to your place, then I share about the out of saying, if you still remember, the out of saying. But last week, Mr. Editor WhatsApp me that he requests me to make one more sharing. So I said, what topic? I don't know what topic. The last time is out of saying. So he said, maybe you can share about the Sempurna. Okay, then I agree. So this is the Sempurna. So I give the title Sempurna Heaven on Earth, right? Heaven on Earth. Actually, Sempurna is a very nice place for photographer. I know about Sempurna when I went to the photo exhibition in a Balai Seni Lukis Negara. Now it's a Balai Seni Visual Negara. Now it's called as the Balai Seni Visual Negara dekat Jalan Nampang. I don't remember. Beside the tabung darah negara dekat dengan hospital. So I don't know, they have the exhibition there. I just singgah di situ, then I saw got a photo exhibition. Luckily I didn't plan, so I visit the photo exhibition, and luckily during that time, that one is a 2006, I think 2006. So I saw the exhibition of the photo is the exhibitions of one of the international photography competition. organized, I believe, organized by Malaysia, maybe Malaysia organization. I don't know who organized. So I saw the display of the photography, the winning photo, constellation, merit, something like that. And I saw the first prize and the second prize is a Malaysian photographer, and both of the photo won in the first prize and second prize is a Sempurna photo. Sempurna photo. Then the third prize, the photo from India, Myanmar, Thailand. But the first prize and the second prize is a Sempurna photo. So I went close to the photo. Said, hey, where is the place? Say Sempurna Sabah. I said, oh, we got this place in Malaysia. Very beautiful. I didn't remember the photographer. You just imagine during that time, the international photography competition, the Sempurna photo cannot be during that time, 2006. First prize, second prize is Sempurna photo. The rest, barulah kita photo from India, Thailand, Myanmar, all the other country. But during that time, maybe I guess nobody can beat the Sempurna photo, because maybe during that time the Sempurna is very fresh for among the photographers. When we saw the photo of Sempurna, it's wow, it's beautiful, so beautiful, especially with the sea's life, the beautiful, the crystal water. So I said, wow, I have to go to this place. So in 2006, I discussed with my friend. That's the first time I visit to Sempurna. So from 2006 until 2019, every year I repeat, go to the Sempurna. Sometime 1 year, twice. Sometime 1 year, 3 times 1 year. So in total, from the 2006 until 2019, I think I have been in Sempurna about 18 times. 18 times. We are supposed to have our photo trip last year. We supposed to 2 photo trip to Sempurna last year, but due to pandemic, I have to cancel it, and I postponed to this year. Maybe I don't know whether we can go or not for this year. So I saw the changes of the environment, of the landscape of Sempurna from 2006 until 2019. Not much different, but in terms of what we call the cleanness, compared to the 2006, 2008, 2010, the Sempurna was very clean, very clean. But selepas 2014, 2015, 2016, so little bit polluted by rubbish, plastic. Sekarang kalau kita naik boat, in Sempurna, about the 15-minute boat will stop due to plastic stuck in the fan, the boat fans, right? Last time in 2006, 2008, I never faced this problem because there's no plastic or something like that inside the water. So the pollution. Same as the beach. In 2006, 2008, the beach in Marble Island, they got a very long beach. The very wide and long beach, very beautiful. But now the beach is damaged already. No more beach in the Marble Island. Only ada lah, tapi sedikit sangat. But now banyak batu due to hakisan pantai. So I saw the changes of the Sempurna in terms of the environment. So during this photo session, I will try to bring you my journey of Sempurna since 2006 until 2019. Okay. So basically, in Sempurna, we have many islands in Sempurna. So there is one park in the Sempurna we call the Tun Sakaran Marine Park. Tun Sakaran Marine Park, they got inside the Tun Sakaran Marine Park, we have some island like the Selakan, Bot Gaya Island, Maiga Island, Sibuan Island, Mantabuan Island. Adalah sikit-sikit lagi. So to enter to the Taman Laut, we have to apply the permit from the Taman Laut. So if you want to go to the Semporna, make sure you contact the local people there to apply the permit. Without the permit, kalau marine tahan you, so you will be charged. We must apply the permit. But in the 2014, if you still remember, during the incident of the Tentera Sulu Army attack the Lahad Datu last time, there's one during that place, we visited Semporna on that year, you know, crazy. So the incident happened about the February 2014, but we visit Semporna in May 2014. But during that time, we have to apply the two permit. One permit is for the Taman Laut, Marine Park, and another permit is a police permit, permit police during that time, because there's one very critical time during that time. But we already booked the ticket. I will show some slide after this, right? So instead of that island, there is other islands. Like the most popular is Mabul Island, Mata King, Sipadan Island. You know, that island is out of the Sabah Park, so we no need to apply the permit to go to the Mabul, Mata King, Sipadan, right? No need to apply the permit from the Sabah Park. Okay. This is the journey. From 2006, I think I explore many islands in Semporna, and finally, this is the last, the last journey of my trip to Semporna. We start in KLIA, Tawau Airport. About the 3 hours, 15 minutes, about 3 hours flight from KLIA to Tawau. And then from Tawau Airport, we go to Semporna. Normally, I already booked van, so to bring all the photographer from Tawau Airport to Semporna. The journey take about 45 minutes. 45 minutes. And near the airport, you got the one restaurant. You tahu daging rusa, daging rusa, very popular restaurant. Normally, I akan bring all photographer makan di situ dulu lah. In Sabah dia sebut apa lah? I lupa lah nama daging rusa, right? Then we go to the Semporna, take about 45 minutes. After Semporna, then when we arrive to the Semporna town, normally we'll buy some candies or something to bring to the children in the island. So, and then some, mineral water. So we just bought the candies, the mineral water, and then some food lah, food. Okay, then we masa mula-mula dulu in the 2006 and 2008, 2010. During last time, I stay in the Semporna town. I stay in the Semporna town. They got the one hotel. So many hotel in the Semporna town. So we stay at the Semporna town during that time. But very last time is no problem because no curfew. After 2014, the Malaysians, keselamatan lah, enforce the curfew for the Semporna area start from the 2014, right? 2014. So the curfew start at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. So we cannot enter to the sea, to the open sea during that time. So our travel time become short. We have no choice. So I think I decide I don't want to stay at the Semporna town because if I stay to Semporna town, I will not get the sunrise and the sunset at the island, because from the jetty Semporna to the nearest island for photo shoot maybe take about half an hour. So we have no time to go there to shoot the sunrise and sunset. There is no choice. So I decided to stay at the island for the next trip. Start from 2014, something like that. 2013. So I already start to stay. So our accommodation at the island. Okay. So we can see from this journey, KLIA, Semporna, Selakan. Selakan is our first island. And Selakan normally is a tempat kita stay lah. There is the one homestay at the Selakan Island. Not so leisure but comfortable. So my trip normally it's not for leisure, it's not for leisure, just for comfortable accommodation. But the most important thing is the photo, right? But now we have a 2 homestay in the Selakan Island. We can choose, right? But during last time it's a 1 only, but now it's a 2 already. Okay, Selakan Island normally is where we stay, our homestay there. And then the Boat Gaya Island. The Boat Gaya Island is the first island that we visit at the day that we arrive in the Semporna. Afternoon until the sunset at the Boat Gaya Island. So I will share the photos. And the Maiga Island. So all this Boat Gaya and Maiga is under the Sabah Park. Sabah Park. Boat Gaya, Maiga Island, Taman Laut Tun Sakaran, Bohe Dulang Hill. I will show you Bohe Dulang Hill. There's one hill, a very beautiful view. Then Denawan Island. Okay, Denawan Island. Denawan Island, not so many photographers go there because very far from the Selatan Island to the Denawan Island, take about 1 hour by speedboat. Very, very far. And we face the open sea. Like we want to go to Mabul, we must to face the open sea. Around the Sabah Park, there's so many islands, so the water becomes calm lah. Dia tak, air sangat tenang. But when you go to the open sea, when you go to the Mabul and Denawan, so that's the open sea, so ombak akan kuat lah. So the journey from the Selakan Island to the Denawan take about 1 hour. 1 hour by speedboat. So we stay at the Denawan Island 1 night. 1 night in Selakan, 1 night in Denawan Island. Why we stay in Denawan, I will share after this. After Denawan, the next day we go to the Omadal Island. Omadal Island also very popular among the photographers. Omadal Island. And then Bintang Biru. Bintang Biru, this is not the island. And if you Google, you can see the name of a Bintang Biru because the Bintang Biru is a one what we call macam beting pasir lah, something like that. In tengah-tengah laut, tiba-tiba you got the air yang cetek, then the bajau laut buat rumah dekat situ. The JCGC built the house at the middle of the sea. You pergi laut open sea, tiba-tiba you jumpa satu kampung. That's the Bintang Biru. And the Bintang Biru name, this Bintang Biru names diberi oleh fotografer, bukannya orang lokal. The Bintang Biru name itself given by the one photographer, very senior. I think you know, Mr. Pang Piaukan from Penang. Mr. Pang give this area is a Bintang Biru. So the next generation of the photographer who went to Semporna, oh, this is Bintang Biru, this is Bintang Biru. I don't know why he gave the name Bintang Biru, right? And then after Bintang Biru, we go to the Mabul Island. Mabul Island is a very big island, got the school there, got the school, everything. So the Mabul Island. And Gusungan Island, the last island we go is a Gusungan Island. And then we go to Semporna, Tawau Airport, and to KLIA. This is our journey, right? Okay, postcard from Tetagan. Tetagan is a one kampung, one village, water village. So this is the Sigipsi village in Boat Gaya Island. The island called the Boat Gaya, the kampung itself is called the Tetagan, Kampung Tetagan. Because a few days, we know popular about the Abid Liu, the Abid Liu went to the Semporna, to the Tetagan people, this island. So this is the island where the Abid Liu visit and give dia punya bantuan to Sigipsi. This is the view of the Tetagan, Kampung Tetagan. This kampung is the first area that we go in the first day we arrive at the Semporna. So we go at the evening, at the afternoon, because you can see this view is a view sunset. They get the one island, so we park our boat at the island there. So the view in front of us is a sunset view, and the back is the blue sky. See, normally if you opposite, this one is a sunset view, our back is a blue sky. So that's why I choose to go here during the afternoon. We wait for the sunset here. We shoot the people during the blue hour, then until the sunset, we wait for the sunset to shoot the scenery and the people at the tatagan. Okay. So this is my photos, landscape photos. Luckily, I got this boat, this traditional bajau boat. Actually, this boat is from the one solid wood from the tree. Then they are, they create something to build the boat itself. There is no, there's just one single wood. They just craft it to make it the boat. Right? This is the traditional bajau laut boat. This is a traditional bajau laut. Okay, this is the view from back. So this is this is the tatagan, the kampung tatagan. You see the village, the house is still purely original bajau laut house. If you go to other island, maybe they already changed, improved, they used by wood papan or something like that. But in tatagan, kampung tatagan, the house is still, the wall still by, maybe a coconut leaf or something like that. The coconut leaf. This very pure original bajau laut house, right? Okay, you see the hill is a very nice view. So we can see from back is the blue hours, and in front of us is a sunset. These photos in 2006. And in 2006, unfortunately, the collection of my photo in 2006 and half of 2007 is damaged already due to my portable hard disk was corrupted. And this is a few photo that I can save it. This is the view of the Tatagan Island in 2006. 2006. So when we go to the Semporna, what we need to prepare? The first is a wide angle. Wide angle lens. This one is a wide angle lens. Portrait lens, maybe 50 mm or 85 mm. And then last time, in the earliest, I always bring the tele 70-200, 70-300. But now I think I no need the tele lens when you go to Semporna, because when you arrive at the kampung there, so the people will come close to us, So you no need to wait to shoot the long lens, sangat berat, so heavy. So now I just bring the wide angle, portrait lens, and fisheye. So don't forget to bring your CPL, because to cut the reflection on a water surface, so you will get this kind of photos. You can see very clean, very clear water. So when I use the CPL, so I can cut out all the reflection on the water surface, right? So you must know how to use the CPL, to get this kind of photo. Your angle must be 45 degree. So you need to going up. Maybe you panjat boat punya, roof, something like that. Or in the front of a boat ada sedikit tinggi, right? So you can stand there and you shoot from the high angle to get the 45 degree. You adjust your CPL, then you got this kind of the photo, right? Okay, this also in the Tatagan, kampung Tatagan. See, I wait for the sunset, and I can get the view like this. This is the stage, and this is the stage. I asked them to lompat. Then we got the photos. As the photography trip organizer, sometimes we need to stage. Because some of them are newcomers, first time go to Semporna. If you let go them to shoot, so they will blur what to shoot. So sometimes as an organizer, I need to stage, make sure they got some beautiful photos. And all the photographer who follow all get this kind of these photos, right? Okay, this also in Tatagan. I like these photos. I guess the two sisters. They are preparing to go back to their house after their play at the beach. then they're preparing to go back to their house. So I use the speedlight off-camera flash to highlight the subject. So I can highlight the subject, then I still can keep the background of the kampung, right? If you don't have the speedlight, maybe it's quite difficult so to get this kind of exposure, right? Sometimes I use the reflector. Like say we got the strong light, strong sunlight, we can use the reflector. But during this time, the sun is so lah, so not so. So I need to use my flash, and then I got these photos, right? This one in Tetagan. You see the island beside the kampung, got the one hill, satu bukit. Dekat situ dia orang main volleyball, they're playing the volleyball, and this one got a swing, very big swing, so they swing. So I capture this boy, the swing, and then the background of their house in that village. Okay, this one not yet sunset. It's about 5 p.m. something like that, right? So this is at the Tetagan also. This is quite modern sikit lah. Bagi dia orang macam modern lah, because rumah dia made by woods, not the coconut leaf lah. The wall is quite modern. But my eyes saw this two, one lady and one baby get a new framing there. I said, wow, very nice, very nice. So my instinct, something amazing will be happen. Something, as a photographer, I think we need to have that kind of instinct, you know. So maybe something. Then suddenly this baby, dia
Nasri, can you hear me? Nasri, can you hear me? Hello. Nasri, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Nasri, can you hear me? Oh, okay. Can you mute and unmute your mic? Or you can log in the Zoom with your phone. Can you log in the Zoom with your handphone? Okay, Albert, are you here? Albert?
Yes.
Maybe while we are solving the technical issue for Mr. Nasri, can we proceed with the photo contest presentation?
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Mr. Nasri, can you hear? Okay. I think Mr. Nasri, we proceed with the photo contest first. So I solve the technical issue with you now.
Okay, can you hear me?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
we're online. Oh, okay, good.
Last time happened. No. Okay, right. Sorry.
No worry. Everyone is very excited to continue.
Yeah.
Please continue. We don't want to lose you today.
Okay. Suddenly the babies, dia menguap. So I got this very nice moment. Very nice moment. So I capture this very nice moment. Okay. Okay, this is also in Tetagan during the sunset. Dekat nak sunset, this is the view, because when the sunlight becomes low, the light become more dramatic. So this is a stage. I arrange the canoe becomes something like this. Kalau tak, dia akan tidak tersusun. So I just put it, but not too tersusun sangat. Becomes just random use. So I put it one young girl. Then I pilih lah. They got so many children here, at this beach during this time. So we choose this because of the wearing a red shirt. So the red becomes outstanding. See, this is a photo that I choose because this girl facing their house, not facing to the camera. I got so many when she facing my camera, but I think looks too stage, right? So when she facing their house, I think this is a much better. This is the very dramatic lighting during the matahari nak turun. So this is very good lighting. This one different day, different trip. So we make some arrangement, almost the same arrangement, but different day. You see the light. I love this light after during the sunset, during the sunset view, right? Okay, this is the Tetagan, Kampung Tetagan, the first island that we visit on our first day trip. So during at night we stay. So we need this during the curfew. The curfew will start at the 7 p.m. 7 p.m. So we need to catch up. We need to go back to our homestay, and we must arrive around 7 p.m. 7 p.m. in Sabah is about 8 p.m. in Semenanjung, Malaysia, right? So already dark. So at least we will get the sunset. Sempat to get the sunset view before we go back to our homestay in Selakan Island. Selakan Island. So that's why I choose to stay in the Selakan Island, because the travel from the Selakan to this Tetagan is about 10 minutes. It's about 15 minutes only by speedboat, right? And then about the what you call the safety during the curfew. Maybe some of you curious about the safety. That's why the most important for me is we need to choose the safety place to stay. Why I choose the Selakan Island to stay? Because the near the Selakan is a Bohe Dulang. Bohe Dulang got the one army camp, our army camp, and another side in the Sibuan Island got the PGA side, PGA camp. So Selakan at the middle. And in the Selakan Island, I think 99% is our local Malaysian. They also Bajau, tapi not the Bajau laut. That's Bajau Malaysian lah. Malaysian punya Bajau, not the Bajau laut. So 99% population in the Selakan Island is a Malaysian. So when I choose to stay in the Selakan, is a very safe. That's why the number one reason why I choose Selakan. And number two reason is Selakan at the middle. We can go to the other island very near. From the Selakan to this Tetagan to Maiga to Sibuan, very near, is about 15 minutes by boat. So we will get the sunrise and sunset. We have time to catch up to get the sunset and sunrise, right? If you stay to the Semporna town, you have no time to get the sunset and sunrise during this time, during the curfew, right? Okay. So we stay at night at the Selakan. We have a dinner. Wow, the punya food dekat Semporna is the champion lah. Seafood memang number one. Seafood, ikan, the fish was very fresh. Squid, ketam, the crab, the heaven lah for food. So normally food is a champion lah in a Semporna. Okay. The next day, at night, normally the photographer will shoot the Milky Way. Got the Milky Way in a Semporna because the island almost dark. Then we can get the Milky Way. But I'm not so interested in the Milky Way. But they shoot lah. But the shooting Milky Way is not in my itinerary. That option for them. For your information, at night we can go out and jalan-jalan, walk around the island. That's okay. But we cannot go to the sea. We cannot go to the sea. That's the curfew. But if you go around the island, there's no problem, right? So they always shoot the Milky Way at the Selakan Island there. So the next morning, there's another island we need to go. That's the Maiga Island. Maiga Island is one of top 3 lah. For me, it's a top 3 island, beautiful island in Semporna, right? From the Selakan, from our homestay to the Maiga, if let's say the high tide, air pasang, the boat will take about 15 minutes only from our homestay to the Maiga. But during that time, okay, for your information, normally I choose the date for the trip. I like to choose to get the low tide during the sunrise and sunset. My schedule is a low tide during the sunrise and sunset. Why? I will explain to you. I don't like to go then to see the high tide during the sunrise. You see. Okay. 5 a.m. Only the 5 a.m. the boat driver already ready. So about 4:55, all the photographer already stand by on the boat. I talk to all the photographer. Please make sure you open your camera, you fix to your tripod. If you use the filter, pasang you punya what you call holder. If you have to put the filter as well, also okay. If you want to use the cable release, put the cable release ready, because we are supposed to go to Maiga within 15 minutes if the high tide, but due to the low tide, the boat will slow. So because the air dia sangat cetek, so sometimes got the batu, something like sometimes got the coral, so the boat need to slow down. So from suppose 15 minutes maybe become 25 minutes or half an hour. That's the challenge. That's because they have no time, no choice for him to. Then that you can see here, we still on the boat, but we can see the light is already comes up, the color is, but during that time we still on the boat. You just imagine, wow, how we feeling. Wah, ada cabang lagi. So we still on the boat, you know. So bila dia lalu kat air yang dalam, the deep sea, so the speed will speed then until we arrive at the Maiga Island, right? See, this is Maiga Island, very beautiful. Got the sea village also, and this is the sunrise view at the Maiga Island. Normally when we go as in a group, so I ask them to stand your tripod on the line, one line. Nobody can go nearer to the house because maybe it will disturb your composition. So all photographer in the same line. So we shoot the landscape only during the sunrise. Shoot the landscape. Then after all got the landscape view, okay, everything got the photos. Then okay, we go together, go nearer to their house. Then free move where you want to get your composition. That's free for you. This is my style. My style. Okay. Why I choose the low tide during the sunrise? Number one, during the low tide, the water is very calm. The water was very calm, and we will get the reflection. We will get the reflection. Number one, and number two, during the low tide, we can go close to their house. Okay, we can go close to the house. We can climb up to their house. We can go into their house during the low tide. If you go to the during the high tide, you normally cannot do that. You just pacak tripod at the beach. You shoot slow shutter. That's all. That's why I don't like to go there during the high tide. I choose the low tide. So I get the reflection, I got everything, then I can go close to their house, I can masuk rumah dia. That's the best. That's the best for me. That's why I choose the low tide. Okay. See? Okay, this one photo in 2012, I think 2012. Last time I used the cheaper filter, cheaper, made in China. They want the Tiania, if you still remember Tiania. So I use the filter. So I put this in Maiga with a slow shutter. I think this one in 1 minute or 2 minutes shutter speed. Okay. I love this photo because I saw the sun and the one line of the black cloud. You can see the one line of the cloud, the black cloud there. It's like the what we call meteor. It's like the meteor want to hantam to itu pulau. So I wait for the sun going up until they touch the peak of the cloud. Then I got this moment. This is slow shutter. You can see some motion effect of the boat. Okay. This one also same time, master yang sama. Alright, master yang sama. This is in Maiga. You see, this is in Maiga. So I go close to their house, mungkin air paras pinggang, and make sure you just bring one single camera. I already always advise to the photographer, just bring one camera enough. Don't bring your backpack or the camera. Sometimes you uncontrolled, Some of the photographer, they hang their camera at the neck, right? The strap at the neck. Then another camera, they hold the camera at his hand. But sometimes when you saw the song, oh, beautiful moment, amazing moment, they forgot already this. Oh, I want to go low angle. Then the low angle, so that the camera will yang tergantung dekat dia punya neck tu, so akan sang, dia akan tenggelam, masuk dalam air. Dia tak perasan pun. Very excited, over excited, so the damage. Then you coma 1 month. Jadi your camera sunk in the salt water. Okay, this is what I get when we go during the low tide. You can see the reflection, and you can see the seaweed. The seaweed inside. This one, my camera is almost same level at the water, same level. So I can have the seaweed inside the water, and I got the reflection of this young girl and the reflections of the cloud. This is what we'll get if we go during the low tide. See, this one, I climb up to another house, the bajau house, that I shoot from the balcony of the house, then to get the high angle like this. Right? So kalau high tide, you can't do that. See this one. During the low tide, the reflection was amazing. This is why I choose the low tide. Very calm. But unfortunately, I cannot expect the wind. You know, angin. Low tide, you can see the charta, the schedule, low tide, high tide, the weather also you can predict. But the windy, whether it's windy day or not, I cannot, you know, I cannot plan. I cannot. This one is based on luck. But during this time, there's no wind at all, so we get a very mirror reflection. This one still in Maiga Island. Maiga Island. See the reflection. See our friend shooting. See, this is what we call what we have. What we have in Maiga during the low tide. So we can see there's a reflection, the calm water, and very nice moment. Right? This is a staging also. Right? See, stage also. Okay. That's the beautiful of the Maiga, you know, Maiga. The house is not too crowded. It's not too crowded. They got some space. Sometimes the single house, so we can make our composition free composition to adjust the best composition for us. There's one is a single house at the sea, middle of the sea, a little bit far from the beach. So one a single house with a boat, so we can make our composition better. See, this is same house, right? During the sunrise. This is why with the calm water during the low tide, we can easy to get the reflection. During the high tide, the wave, wow, very, very big wave. You cannot get this reflection. Okay, this in Maiga, but the other side, this one at the island. The last time I show facing the sunrise, but this one is another side, the west side of the island, right? The west side of the island. So blue sky, because the opposite to the sunrise. You can see the very clear water, and this I asked this boy whether you got I saw some photos taken by some photographer. So I saw the sailing boat, kapalaya. So I tanya dia, I asked, do you have a kapalaya or something like that? Normally I use the boatman as a translator. I can't speak Bajau, so the boatman normally they can speak for us, then they translate. So you ada tak? You have the, you know, sailing boat something. Oh, he said, oh, we got. Then the put it, the keep it. Sorry, they take it this at the house. Then they fix to their boat. Then I shoot this moment. Very nice. This one there is no flash at all. No flash. We need to adjust the the angle to get the very nice light. Okay, bila kita boleh naik rumah dia, when we boleh naik rumah dia, masuk, came to their house, then we will get this view. But only the low tide, again during the low tide. So I masuk dalam rumah bajau laut, so I can get this moment from inside of their house. So I use the window as a frame. So I love the window style, very traditional one. So luckily I got this moment when this bajau dia buang air daripada sampan dia. Then I got this moment, and this photo won for the monthly HIPA. The themes that time is a window. So I won one of the Malaysian photographer who won that theme, window. Okay, this photo won the Fujifilm snap and print last time in 2018, if I'm not mistaken. 2018. This photo of the Karina, this young girl names Karina. So and if you see this frame, the frame is the photo frame of the family portrait of Karina, and then that's the frame of photo. And Karina, inside also the other frame is the window. Window frame to, I use the window to frame the Karina, and the other side, the frame of their family photo. So this photo maybe got a strong story. So this photo won the grand prize for the Fujifilm Snap and Print last time in 2018, right? This one also in Maiga. So you can, I shoot from the back their balcony. You can climb up their house, but make sure you're gonna be careful. You must careful because sometimes kalau you overexcited, then dangerous for you, right? I always tell to my friend who follow me, be cool, not too excited, not to be cool. Sometimes especially for the first timer, wow, I think cannot control, you cannot control. So then sometimes dekat dasar laut pantai tu dia tidak rata, it's not so flat, then they can't control their body and they collapse with their camera. So be cool. Jangan terlampau excited sangat, relax je, right? This one in Maiga, I going around, so I saw this boy suddenly dia tidur dekat situ, sleeping there. So I senyap, I capture this moment, right? Also in Maiga. This one I use the reflector. I saw the sun was very, very strong, so I use the reflector to get this light to this young lady, right? So you see the reflection. You got, see, this one is nice. This one is during the low tide. Same lady, budak ni lah yang tadi tu. This one another lady. This one name of Regina. Nama dia Regina. If you know the names of their son, sometimes Karina, Regina, Isabella. You see that kind of name. This kind of name lah. I don't know why. But if you ask the mother, her mother or his mother, berapa umur dia, how old anak dia, how old umur anak dia, so the mother also don't know. The mother don't know umur dia berapa, because they don't have a surat berana IC, no identity, so even they don't know dia punya umur dia. So this one in Maiga. This one is another side of Maiga, west side of the Maiga. Maiga is this one is in Maiga. Okay, this one is during the high tide. I went one time during the high tide in Maiga. So maybe my calculation is not wrong, is wrong, or I'm not sure. When I arrived in Maiga, it's high tide. Suppose a low tide. So I need to change our plan, how we are going to shoot. So this one this one is stage also. I asked them to play with the water splash on their traditional boat with the background of their traditional house. Then with the backlight, so I got this moment, and this is a winning photo as well. Won the last time the MTC photography contest, second prize, right? MTC is a Malaysian Timber Council, timber, kayu, because of their boat is wood and the house is wood as well. Okay, this one also in Maiga. Then, for your information, if you have the underwater casing, if you have the GoPro, if you have the anything that you can sing your camera, please bring to the Sempurna, because Sempurna is, if you bring the underwater casing, that's a champion. Instead, we can get the normal photos, but we can have also, you can get also the underwater, the underwater. So this is the life of the in Maiga Island, where the mother and his daughter, actually they're waiting for his husband, waiting for her husband. Then masa ni dia dah nampak husband dia balik lah, so they're waiting for the husband. Then I shoot this moment by using my underwater casing. Very nice, very nice. Got the full of the story. See, same also in Maiga. if you use the underwater casing in Maiga, that's very good because the Maiga dia punya dasar dekat laut dalam tu clean. There's no seaweed, no apa, just sand, just a sand. So when the light masuk dalam air, then very clear. When you use the underwater casing, that's a champion when you use it at the Maiga Island. See this one? I use the half is underwater, half upside. This one, okay, underwater casing. Okay, this one won the second prize in last time in the one Hari Alam Sekitar, something like that, second prize. So I use this one to shoot this moment. And I use the underwater casing. Luckily, I got the 3 stage. You can see the 3 stage. One is underwater, one is reflection on the top of the surface, and the top view. So I got the 3 stage of the underwater, surface, and also the top view. So this is in the 2000. This one is photo in 2014, I think. Okay. Okay, same also. This one at the Maiga Island, I use the underwater casing, 3 layers, underwater, surface, and top. This photo won the MTIB, Malaysian Timber Industrial Board, first prize, right? This one also underwater, also in Maiga. Maiga is heaven when you use the underwater casing, right? Maiga. See the water was very clear, the sand inside very clear, no seaweed, bersih, clean. So the clear waters is very nampak lah, right? This one in Maiga. Okay. After Maiga, then after Maiga, we go back to our homestay to take our breakfast. And after breakfast, we go to hike one popular hill in Semporna. We call the Bohe Dulang Hill. Bohe Dulang Hill is about not so high, about the 300 or 400 meter from sea level, but the trekking is about 700 meters. You need to hike about the 700 meter until the peak. So last time in the 2014, this view is very new. We are one of the group yang pioneer, first maybe the early group who hike this hill and capture this view. During that time, there is no tangga, stairs, no tangga, no rope to climb. We just gunakan akar kayu tarik naik atas. Wow, very tired during that time. Nowadays, because becomes popular already, so the track is very good lah. Got the stairs, got the rope to climb up. More easier compared to the last time. But this is the panoramic view, if you can see from the top of the Bohe Dulang Hill, and this is the result. This is the result for the view. Very nice, very beautiful. I saw the one Englishman, Mat Saleh from Europe. He overtake me during the hiking. He overtake me and say hi. I say hi. Where you come from? He say from France. Okay. So there you are. I go first. Okay. Then he go first. After he arrived first at the peak. So after I arrived, I saw him. Then I saw he was crying. He was crying. He's the man cry. I say, sir, why are you crying? Oh, dia kata, so beautiful. Sampai menangis. This Ahmad Saleh, because he said it's beautiful view. Sampai dia cry. See the beautiful of this Bohe Dulang. Why the name is a Bohe Dulang? Bohe in the Bajau is air, water. Dulang is a bekas air, dulang, our dulang. So you can see this view is like the dulang untuk menempatkan air. That's what we call a Bohe Dulang, right? Okay. Yeah, this photo last time won the Jaya Jaya Shopping Mall, collaborate with Pspj last time, the landscape photography contest last time. This one we waiting for the boat. Kalau ada boat kat situ, then I capture this moment. Got the two boat cross that area, then I capture, right? This is one of the group photo. That's compulsory to take a group photo at the top of this island because very tired. We are very tired, climb up, but finally compulsory to get the group photo here. Why I choose this group? Because this group are crazy, crazy. Because this group we go at the 2014. During that time, Sulu army attacked the Lahad Datu. The Sulu army not attack the Lahad Datu, including the Sempurna, including the Sempurna. Actually, I want to cancel that trip, but this guy very crazy. Oh, must continue, you must go. Then we go lah. Crazy lah. During that time, so many army, so many army. Little bit worried, but we safe lah. This one I share this group because this is a very hardcore photographer. I don't know why. Crazy lah. Right? It is another view, another trip, right? The best time to climb up is about the 10 a.m. in the morning. You start climb up, or 10:30 or 10:30 or 10 a.m. Take a half an hour or 45 minutes. You arrive at the top of the peak, 11 a.m. 11 a.m. the sun is already top our head, and dia punya light was very nice, just nice to light up the view, right? Oh, ini sesat sikit lah, ini bukan apa. Okay, that's the Bohidulang. Then bila after Bohidulang, we go back to the Selakan homestay. We take our lunch. Then we pack our luggage. We travel to another island. We call the Denawan Island. As I said just now, the travel time from the Selakan Island to the Denawan Island take about 1 hour. Very far. So we pack our luggage, our camera, keep it safe. Kalau bawa plastic and the rubbish plastic, the black color one, wrap our bag, camera bag to save, to make sure safe everything. So the journey take 1 hour until we arrive at the Denawan Island. Okay, Denawan Island. Why we choose the Denawan Island? Number one, we stay at the Denawan Island. Why? Because at the Denawan Island itself got the one PJA camp. PJA, very big PJA camp. PJA is a police, and then very safe because they got the camp, very big camp. Maybe during we shoot at that area, the army will, the police will, well, dia akan jalan-jalan, dan dia akan tegur kita dari mana-mana. So bawa dia punya machine gun or something just for safe. Kita punya safe. So that's why I choose that island to be another accommodation. I stay there just because of, number one is a safety, number two, the view is very nice. Okay. Denawan Island only got the one homestay. You have no choice, one homestay. Just okay lah, basic homestay, not so bukan mahal, bukan apa semua, just biasa je. Just makan, but makan dia is champion lah. Food is number one lah. But the accommodation is also so, but still be okay. You got the bilik something, then makan sangat sedap. But the most important thing, the Denawan Island, is the view. The view. During the sunrise, the next day during the sunrise, this is what we got. Sunrise in the Denawan Island. Okay. You can see during the, still the low tide during the sunrise, because that's why I choose the low tide. Low tide during the sunrise. Okay, this beach is a full of the, like macam kebun kelapa, full of a coconut tree. But the beach is dia terhakis, terhakis, corrosion or something, terhakis due to water, air dia. Okay, dia terhakis. So bila pantai itu terhakis, so the coconut tree will going down, going down, going down, going down.
Nasi, can you hear me? Hello. Can you hear me?
His audio is off also lah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the audio is some technical issue. Oh, okay. He's reconnecting. Okay, while we're waiting for him to reconnect the audio.
Okay, sorry again technical
Okay,
error.
no worry, no worry. Okay, let's continue.
Okay, this is the sunrise view at the Denawan Island. So we able to get this type of the coconut tree. Sometimes we got the this coconut tree, this style, because we can choose, because this beach is the corrosion area, so we can easily get this style of the coconut tree, so not many photographers able to come here to this island, because as I said just now, number one is very far, and then maybe they don't know. So that's interesting thing about this island, because number one is that I love this coconut tree style. See, this is during the sunrise view, right? Wait, I cannot enter.
Nasi, maybe you can try patch up, patch down.
Patch down.
Patch up and patch down your PowerPoint slide.
Cannot.
No, maybe you try press escape to see anything. Or you stop sharing and reshare again.
Okay, this is the same tree, different tree. You can see the water was really calm during the low tide, right? During the low tide, the harmony of the colors and the view was very nice and very calm. This one in the Denawan Island. Different tree. This one is a different tree, this is the area when I come again to this island. So this tree already collapsed. Then I found another tree. This one, not nice like this, but okay, it's okay. So easy we get this kind of coconut tree in this Denawan Island. So I put the bajau boat there. So I shoot the scenery of this during the sunrise. Okay, this is a portrait of the sea gypsy girl. You can see all the face colors, the yellow. Actually, this one is a tepung ubi. Tepung ubi, because macam kita is bedak sejuk lah. Some lotion to protect the house from the hot sun. Normally the young lady yang belum kahwin lagi lah, the lady not yet married, then dia sapu muka dia untuk menjaga kecantikan dia lah. I love these photos because very genuine, very neat, right? Okay, after sunrise we go back to the homestay in Denawan. We take our breakfast. Then after breakfast we come again to same place. Then masa ni I panggil budak-budak Bajau ni untuk datang sini. Then I capture how they play with the canoe and something like that. So I shoot them at the same place after we got our breakfast, right? So this is a very nice view when they play. This one also the stage also. So I ask them to raise their boat, pull their boat as their race, and some of them duduk dekat atas pokok kelapa. The very nice view. So from this photo you can see at the back there got another pokok kelapa yang still macam tu. So this is the view, the beach, the view of the beach in the Denawan Island. Okay, see, very nice how there's relax, lepak-lepak. All the boat they are parking and the lepak-lepak atas pokok. Very nice view. And this one in a kampung in the Denawan Island. The kampung also nice, very nice. The colorful, the life very amazing in the Denawan Island. At night, this kampung in Denawan Island are very good for the Milky Way. Compared to the Selakan, that we stay last night, this kampung is more dark, then that's heaven to have the Milky Way shot, Milky Way shooting in this island. Different view. Okay, this one the side view, this one the front view. So okay, see, we can have the many kind of composition, the moment that we can create to shoot these children of the Sigip here at the Denawan Island. You know this guy? You know this guy? Take hold. Hey, Pspj, right?
Take out.
Yes.
Take how. He followed my trip last time in 2019. So he played with the children of Bajau in Denawan Island, and I capture from inside of the house. I use the window as a frame. I frame the moment, right? Take how. Okay, this one in the Denawan Island as well. During the not so sunrise, early in the morning. This one is a view in sunset. Even sunrise, we got that type of a coconut tree. At the sunset view also, we have this kind of tree. That's the amazing of the Denawan Island. So that's why I choose this Denawan Island is the best. It's the best island to visit and to take the photograph. Okay, luckily I got a bird on the top there, and this is a two boy just sitting on the coconut tree. Okay, this one is a sunset. Last time is a sunrise. We got the two view of sunset and sunrise with this kind of a photo, this kind of the tree. Okay, after Denawan, we going back to homestay in the Denawan. We take our lunch, then we pack our luggage, our camera. We go to another island. We plan to stay at another island, Mabul Island. On the way to Mabul Island, we stop at the two area, two island. One of them, one of the island is the Omadal Island. This is Omadal Island. The Omadal Island, very crowded. The house was very crowded. So sometimes I don't like because it's very crowded. So I try to get another view, which a very simple one. So I choose this house, and luckily during this time, these children play the water, they terjun dekat situ. Then luckily I got this moment when this girl holding his brother's hand, like the connected. So I give the connected. So I love this moment. I don't know why. I love this moment because only the one shot I got at this moment. Bila dia sampai bawah, dia akan, tangan dia akan terlepas lah. Only I got when the hold the hand, only the one shot, only this shot only, right? Okay, this one is in Omadal Island. So I use the underwater casing because in Omadal, when we arrive in Omadal, okay, the water what we call try baru nak pasang, air laut baru nak pasang, but we able to get this bajau, the fishing is traditional method, what we call the spear fishing. Dia masuk dalam air ataupun dia naik boat dia during the low tide, when they saw the fish, then they use the spear to tangkap ikan tu lah, by use very skillful. So this is the traditional method. Okay, this one, see, same also. Okay, that's the Omadal. We just pass by there, and we take some shot, then we go to the Mabul Island. Actually, we go to the Bintang Biru. After Omadal, we go to Bintang Biru, but I think I missed to put in the slide the Bintang Biru. Okay, then this slide is in Mabul. So we go to the Mabul, we check in at the resort. The Mabul is more comfortable, very comfortable. Got the aircon room, the hot shower, the water. The hot shower is a fresh water, not the salt water. Not the salt water. Last time in the earlier one, the same resort, the same chalet, they use the shower is some salt water, not the sea water. Dia guna air perigi. Dia sedut guna air perigi dekat Pulau Mabul tu. But you know, in Mabul, very big island. So this side is a resort, a small resort. The other side is a very expensive resort, 5-star. Maybe one day it's 1,000 per night. So another side is a backpackers, middle class lah, middle class punya resort. But we stay there. So at the earlier in the 2008, 2010, they use the air perigi, air perigi as untuk kita take a shower. Little bit salt, rasa masin sikit air tu. Because dia sedut air perigi tu, dia tak boleh sedut di tengah-tengah pulau tu, because the tengah pulau got the kampung there. Tengah pulau got the kampung for the people. Normally perigi yang tengah-tengah for the kampung people. For the resort, they can do that. They just sedut air in nearby the beach. That's why they still little bit salt. But nowadays they improve this chalet improve. They use the what we call the big water filter to tapis them. Then we got the fresh water to mandi or something like that. So why I choose Mabul? Mabul. You see, sebelum ni kita pergi Maiga, kita pergi Bohai Dulang, kita pergi Tatagan, kita pergi mana tadi? Omadal, Denawan. That one is purely for photography, hard work for photography. But when you go to Mabul, this come relax. Mabul is a very nice island, very nice, very big island, got kedai-kedai, something. If you want to snorkeling, you boleh snorkeling there in Mabul. Very nice coral, very beautiful coral in Mabul. More leisure. So, but the food is still champion. The food, this what we call the seafood, very good in Mabul, right? So normally I bought the seafood from the fishermen. When I pass by, cross on the way to the Mabul, so I cross by the fishermen at middle of the sea. So I asked them, got the fish or what? Oh, they got the fish, they got the crab. So I bought from him, Then when I arrived at the resort, so I asked the chef to cook for us. So at least cheaper, but very very good because we have many seafood there. Lebih kalau kita beli dekat kita order makanan yang dekat dia punya cafe tu mahal lah. So this is the way I practice. So in Mabul, whether you can go for snorkeling or you still want to take the photo, you also can. Some photographers said, I don't want to go to Mabul because Mabul more to the leisure, not just to take, not for the photography. But for me, it's not. Only in Mabul you can get this type of angle, because in Mabul there are many resort, many bridge, wooden bridge. So we can stand there and we can shoot the bajau laut from high angle, from top. So this why this photo I capture on the bridge, the wooden bridge, got the gap in between there. I got the gap that I put it, the camera inside the gap there, that I got this composition. See, only in Mabul you can get this kind of view. That's why I said the
Nasi, can you hear me? Yeah, I think we lost your audio voice. Maybe can you reconnect the audio? Yeah.
wait.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Can okay.
Yes.
Okay, this is the girl selling their goods macam kerang or something like that. In Mabul you can get the lobster, but the lobster still expensive. They know the lobster price, so they may sell to us maybe 100 or 200 seko lah. They know the value of the lobster, but the crab, the fish is very very cheaper, very cheap, right? Okay, this one is sunrise in Mabul. So we take a boat. At the from our chalet. Our chalet is a sunset view. So we take a boat in the morning, early in the morning. So we carilah orang-orang yang dah keluar waktu tu. Then panggil dia untuk dia akan ikut kita dengan boat kita. So we take them, we tarik dengan boat kita pergi the another side of the island, which is the sunrise view, and we capture this their photos. Sometimes kita kena bayar sikit kat dia lah, bayar token dekat dia because of kita capture gambar dia. So we need to prepare some cash to pay them as a model. Kalau tak mungkin dia tak nak lah, because this is early morning. You nak bangunkan dia awal pagi tu sangat susah lah, because they stay in the perahu, dia tidur dalam perahu, dalam boat. Okay, so you nak gerak dia cukup susah lah. That's a challenge, right? This is the sunrise view, another side of the island. This one same also. Another side of this one the different day lah. This one you see the wave little bit kuat, strong, but this one is very calm. It's very calm. So I bring this boy with the perahu, follow kita punya boat, bawa to another side of the island, which is the sunrise view, and we take photos from our boat. This one view is not from beach. This one from our boat. So we got the two boat. Normally we got the two boat there. So we try capture this moment. This is about the arrangement. How I arrange the photo session. Make sure all the photographer got the beautiful photo, right? This is what you will get in Mabul. You stay at the, you just stand at your chalet top side. You can shoot from the upper angle. You can see very clear water. The other island, you can't do that. You can do that because almost the eye level, but only in Mabul you can shoot from the top angle. That's why I choose the Mabul also, as well as the photography punya ni lah, right? This one same, sama. This is a different trip, same punya method. I bring the boy from dia punya rumah, dia punya perahu, dan I bawa dia to sunrise punya view, then we shoot. This one I use the flash. I use the flash to light up the subject, right? This one also same boy, very nice view. Okay. This one in Mabul. That's why I say you can shoot from the top angle. From the angle. This is very nice. This one winning shot also in MTC as well. Summer MTC photography contest. So I shoot it from the top view, so I will get this kind of a composition. So in Mabul, I jadi my personal project lah. I capture all the windows in Mabul. Every windows in Mabul Island, I capture that. I combine it, I make collage. So this is the result that I got lah. These are the windows of Mabul. You can see the window got some got cats, some got men stand there, a mother and their daughter, ada bantal-bantal pillow, kain batik. So I make collage, and I got this view. Right? Just the personal project lah, right? Suka-suka, but it's nice lah. For me, I like it. This one in Mabul also. You can get the view from top only in Mabul Island because so many chalets, so many the water chalet. So you can capture the moment from top angle, right? This one also same. From this one in Mabul jetty. Got so many jetty in Mabul. You can stand on the jetty to shoot from the upper angle. You can get this kind of view. Okay, after Mabul, kita tidur semalam di Mabul apa semua. Then tomorrow morning kita shoot yang budak-budak daripada pagi tu apa semua kan. Then the last day kita mau balik lah. Kita mau balik to KL. So from the Mabul to the Sempurna, we singgah satu pulau nama Gusungan Island. This is a Gusungan Island. Gusungan Island, a very small island in the middle of the sea. Middle of the sea. Then suddenly you can see the one island, very small island, like macam padang bola, one football field. Dia punya size dia, just like that. That one is bukan pulau, dia macam beting pasir, something like that. But got the kampung Bajau Laut. Bajau Laut, dia buat rumah dekat atas tu. This kampung is quite nice to capture. So this view a bit far from the island. So I asked this my assistant, what you call it, boatman punya assistant, this budak ni. So I asked to jump. I use the fish eye. And I got this moment. So when you go to Sempurna, if you have the fish eye lens, please bring the fish eye lens. Some very useful, very useful. But unfortunately, this Gusungan Island already bought by somebody. Now this island is become the resort already. But resort is still not complete. Dia tak siap lagi. But this kampung already gone. But now if you want to go to Gusungan, you need to pay to that properties, and you need to pay some fees lah. I don't know, 10 ringgit or something like that to enter the island. Now it's a private already, this island. Okay, this one also. This one 2012, I think. This one is 2016 or 18, something like that. This one 2012. This one 2018 and something, right? See the water very clear. If you can build the resort here, champion, because the surrounded by coral, beautiful coral, this island. Okay, on the way to from the Gusungan to the Sempurna town, I berhenti dekat stop in area. I don't know this exactly name place. I tak tahu. I asked the boatman, I want to go someplace yang full of seaweed. I want to see the very seaweed, very full of seaweed lah. Then he said, yeah, got the one place on the way to the Sempurna. We will singgah kat situ. Then they bring me. Then I got this photo. Luckily, near this area got the kampung bajau laut as well. So we panggil budak-budak datang then as a subject and we capture. And I capture this moment at this area. Quite nice. I love these photos. This one I use the high angle. How I use this one? I use the monopod. I use the monopod. If the eye level, you can see the the horizon, another island there. It's not nice. I just want to focus on the children and the seaweed. So I use the monopod, high angle, shoot from there. Manual focus. Then I shoot from there randomly. I don't know how to compose. Then I crop. Then I got this photo, right? This one in Gusungan Island yang tadi, Gusungan Island. The water was super clear. This one is in Gusungan Island. Gusungan Island. This one kita cari foto merdeka lah hari tu. Bawa bendera, kita yang bawa lah. Cari kayu, slow the action sikit. Okay, this is the Sibuan Island. This is a memory of the Sibuan Island 2006, 2007. Yang gambar yang sempat I selamatkan lagi lah. I punya sudah hard disk or corrupted. So this is the Sibuan, Sibuan. Last time beautiful island. The bajau laut in a Sibuan, they built their house on the island, not on the water. Like macam Maiga, Tatagan, Denawan, all the bajau laut, built their house on the water, right? But in the Sibuan, they built on the island. So the water is clean. That's why the water is clean compared to the Maiga, Tatagan, because when it got the house in the water, mungkin ada polluted sikit lah, right? Polluted sikit. But in the Sibuan last time, the water, wow, it's so clear. So kalau you masih ingat tagline Peter Stuyvesant Travel dulu, Peter Stuyvesant Travel, the blue of the Peter Stuyvesant Travel you can see in the Sibuan Island. So the water was very nice. Unfortunately, this island now changed already. There is no bajau laut anymore. Now they got the one tower, communication tower, two communication tower they built at the island. Maybe for the army, the PGA camp at the Sibuan Island. I don't know. So there is no bajau laut at this island. So that's why. But the water is still beautiful. But there is no subject there. That's why now I skip this island for my itinerary. Last time it's compulsory place to go. This one, the 2006, 2007. This one in the Sibuan Island last time. We shoot in Sibuan Island. 2014. So in Sempurna, not only the lifestyle, even though you can shoot the portrait. If you are interested in portrait, we can set up or something like that and we shoot the portraiture. Because the face of the sea gypsy is very genuine, for me very artistic. Dia punya face, right? So I think that's all lah for my sharing. So my Sempurna trip. So if any question.
Okay, Nasli, hold on. Albert.
Yes.
Can you read the questions from the comments to Mr. Nasli?
Yeah.
So, Mr. Nasli, can you turn off the slide sharing?
Wait.
So, Albert, what is the question?
From Aditu, our president.
Yeah.
Low tide to shoot photo in Sampurna. Which season is the best? Which month?
Last time, 2010, 2012, we can predict the weather. Last time, from March to July, that's heaven to go to the Sampurna, because during that time the sky is damn blue, totally blue. The weather is very hot during that time. That's heaven to go there during that time, March until July. But now the weather is, I think dia dah tak ikut lah, dia tak follow dia punya ni. It's not normal like before. Sometimes I go in April, supposed to be very nice weather, you know, but sometimes hujan. Sometimes I pergi bulan 8 supposed to be rain, but cantik. I pernah pergi bulan 10 Oktober, supposed bukan 10 it start the monsoon, right? But I got the blue sky, the weather is nice. So now the weather cannot predict anymore. But for safety, we can choose months of from still July. From March to July. That's why I can say. Last time I can predict if you go to June, May, or that one is a champion. You will get very nice weather. But today is no more already. The weather, climate change, I don't know what the weather styles is totally changed. Okay.
So Adi, March to July,
Yeah, March to July.
This is from our advisor, Mr. Ripi.
Yeah.
He fantastic measures and great shooting tips. So many islands around Sampurna, every island with unique subjects to shoot. It's a compliment from our advisor, Raja Indra Putra.
Thank you.
Adi asked again, the president, what type of good CLP filter and filter for sunrise and sunset you use for this type of fantastic photos?
Okay, last time the CPL I used the cheaper one. Last time I used the circle one, Hoya saja, Hoya filter, murah saja, RM100 for depend on the diameter, right? That's Hoya filters for the CPL. And for the GND filter, I use I have used before Nissin, Athabasca, Nissin and Athabasca. Most I often use when I go to the Sampurna. Right? The CPL, better if you have the circle one, that one is better. Nissin one you can adjust, you know, at the holder one, right? You can adjust you can pusing the holder one, but it depends. Normally I haven't used the Nissin or case filter at the Sampurna. Belum sempat lagi saya guna. But Athabasca and Nissin normally for the GND ND filters. And the CPL, I use the old one, the Hoya. Then still a bulat punya filter.
Okay, one more question from Adi also. What type of zoom lenses and wide angle lenses are best to use to get these fantastic photos?
If you have, the more widest you have is much better. Let's say if you have the fish eye, please bring the fish eye. Let's say especially in the top of the Bohe Dulang Hill, if you have the fish eye, wow, that one is more amazing. Last time my photo is not the fish eye, only the ultra wide angle, 16 mm, 1635. But if you have the fish eye, then very good, very good. For zoom, normally lately I didn't bring the zoom lens. Normally I use wide angle is 1635, of course, 1635. Fish eye I use the Samyang only. Samyang fish eye. And then 1635 GM. Last time I do 1635 Zeiss. 85 mm, 85 mm, 50 mm, 50 mm. That I think that one enough already. You have the wide angle, you have the portrait. Last time I bring 70-100, then I tak guna sangat pun because as I said, you pergi sempurna, the children, the subject came close to you. You no need to bring the heavy gear. No need to wah, tak payah because you arrive to their place, so they will come close to you. So no need. Start from I think 2014 or 2015. I didn't bring the super tele zoom lens. Penat lah, berat lah. But as I said, you kena cool lah. Pergi shoot sana kena very cool. Don't too excited because sometimes bila kita over excited, itu yang bahaya sangat sebab you tahulah air laut, right? It's very big enemy for our gear. I punya kamera pun sudah 2 biji kamera air masuk laut lah. 2 biji. Since 2006 2 biji, 1 flash. Lens I think ada 2 ke sudah masuk sekali dalam air. So must be very careful, very careful. But don't jangan sampai terlalu phobia, paranoid. No, that's why I choose the low tide. Low tide, the water is very calm. Then you can go slowly, can go nearer to the house. Kalau high tide, I don't like. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. And then Chris Lee, Jessica Ng, Kin Fong, all thank you for your great sharing and amazing photos.
Thank you. So for all of you yang tak pernah sampai ke sempurna, I think most of us very worried to go to sempurna because of the case of apa colek lah, apalah semua. Sometimes dia punya rumors tu terlampau over lah for me lah. If you pergi sana dan you tahu tidaklah seburuk yang macam dia orang cerita. As long as we follow the rules, the SOP, the curfew, then we will safe. We'll be safe. For your information, now this bajau laut dia sudah pergi ke Kalimantan, Indonesia. Last time you sangat susah nak dapat bajau laut di Indonesia, But dia this a nomad, sea nomad, dia travel. Dia sudah pergi ke Indonesia in Kalimantan. Now the photographer from Indonesia already got this sea gypsy punya photos. Last time HIPA, last year the third prize in the portfolio, one Indonesian photographer shoot the bajau laut at the Indonesia. Last time bajau laut is only in Semporna. Cambodia also have. My friend shoot the Cambodia bajau laut, but the water is not clear like the Semporna. We are very lucky lah. We got the bajau laut with a very super clear water. But now dia sudah pindah sikit-sikit pergi ke Indonesia. So Indonesia punya photographer sudah start shoot bajau laut dekat Indonesia. So we sudah ada competitor lah. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Nasri, for joining us today in the Pspj monthly meeting.
Yeah,
so,
thank you very much.
We hope in the future you can share physically at our physical meeting. So
Yeah,
Eddie, anything to say?
Thank you for Mr. Nasri to do the very good sharing, especially the photo, fantastic, amazing. And the point is it any chance to bring Pspj member to shoot Semporna, but not now
Can should be no problem. I can arrange for Pspj go there. Normally start from the 2006. I already brought the many photographer even from Japan. Friend from Japan, 4 photographers from Japan. We went there in 2008 or 2009. A Singaporean photographer as well, and Malaysian, mostly Malaysian. So for the Pspj, last time we bring one PSJ, Photography Society of Johor. Their group only. to go to the Sempurna. So if let's say PSPJ want to organize, I can bring. Should be no problem. So we can plan to get the beautiful photos in Sempurna. I
So
don't know
now,
whether this year can or not. Depend on the situation of the pandemic. But hopefully next year, maybe for safety is next year. Already
so this,
all got vaccine already.
so this is like the pre-announced.
Okay, thanks Nazri for
Okay,
you
that's
sharing.
really,
Very tough to get you, especially now. Now
Yeah.
you are the ambassador already. Those days we get you much easier. Now you are very famous.
No.
so we
Thank you very
keep
much.
in touch. Yeah, we keep in touch.
Thank you very much for PSPJ.
Thanks.
Okay, I see you
Okay.
Thanks for
around.
sharing.
Okay,
Okay, bye.
okay, bye. So Albert, we proceed to next the photo contest.
We will announce the result.
Can you put to full screen? Can you run the slide?
Do the photo contest sharing first, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So can you explain to audience our monthly photo contest?
Yeah. In fact, there are some points that I would like to highlight. Every month, our team put up this notice on Facebook, and as well as email also sent out. But in spite of these few months already, there are still people, are still members who type the wrong hashtag. I don't know why, but there are still cases like that, you see. And then last month, I saw one submission with very heavy manipulation on the water team. So I reminded that particular member that no manipulating is allowed, unless stated. Sometimes we allow, but you have to read the rules and regulations. And then the deadline also. Submission deadline is always there in bold letters, but yet some submit after the deadline. For the first 2 months, they were a lot, but this month also one case, submit after deadline. So no choice, I have to delay it. And then one case with watermark. Normally for photo contest, no one will ask you to put a watermark, you know. So I approved that photo, but I reminded the member not to put the watermark in future. And then the maximum numbers of photo is 10. And last month, I had one member submitted 14. So before I approve, I told him, message him to choose only 10 and then resubmit. You know, all these cases are still exist. We have been running this contest for past few months. So I advise members to read all the rules and regulations before they submit, just to avoid all these unnecessary things. So for our first team is depth of field, shallow depth of field. These are the shortlisted photos. Shallow depth of field, shortlisted. And this is the Cuddly Toys team, shortlisted. Cuddly Toys, shortlisted. And now the winner for the monthly contest. Congratulations to Yoni, also won a few previous contests. So congratulations to Yoni. I think last month she also won.
Yes.
Month before also she won.
Yes.
So she's the up and coming best photographer for this year, I think. Yuni, are you around, Yuni?
Congratulations, Yungi.
Congratulations. And then the winning photo for Cuddly Toys is Mukesh Parawani. Mukesh, congratulations. This is in the literally cuddly. So it deserves the win. So Adi, you want to say anything, Adi?
Congratulations to all the winners.
Okay. Sorry. Eddie, you continue.
Yeah, finish.
Okay. Okay. But there's one thing I need to highlight. So to all members who participate in photo submission for the monthly photo contest, please always check your membership if it's still valid. Because if your membership is expired and you haven't renewed it, even though you are shortlisted, your shortlisted will be disqualified. Please always check your membership. If you need to check your membership, please contact our treasurer. He will help you to check your membership. So if you not unsure your membership is still valid or not, please contact Pspj treasurer or any committee members. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, one more thing I would like to share. In fact, our membership fee is now still at 50 ringgit. In fact, we are supposed to raise it to 80 ringgit starting January. But due to some unforeseen circumstances, we are still maintaining it at 50 ringgit until further notice. So for those who haven't renewed your membership, please do so before we implement the 80 ringgit. It's not implemented yet. We have some technical problem.
So for those who don't know where to renew your membership, you can visit our website www.pspj.org and .my. There's a membership renewal on the menu there. So just click on the one that to renew or to apply the new membership. You can see. Okay, thank you.
Any other matters, Adi?
So the
regarding the outing is
the
free
outing
and
should
easy.
be free and easy already. MCO as standard. I think even the Chinese New Year still can't do anything also.
Yeah, so for our outing, the last committee meeting, we decided to have the Chinese New Year team, and the other team is movement. We will post it on the website, on the Facebook.
Okay, so I think if no any other matters, so I think we come to the end of today's online live meeting. So thank you, Albert, to be the host for today's live.
Okay, thank you very much.
Albert is really doing fine works to be the host. I think next host should be you also. You are doing great. Okay, so thank you everyone. So that's all.
Okay, thank you
very much.
Bye bye.